Welcome to Game Bangerz, the podcast formerly known as Goof Troop. I'm your host, Kyle Conway, and with me I have our 4 returning guests, Alex Davis.
Hey.
Cameron Hicks.
Hey.
Jimmy. Prescott, there we go.
There it is.
Yeah, and Jake Brown.
Yo.
And let's see, I figured we're going to change up the format of the show a little bit. We're going to start the way we usually do, with what you've been up to, what you've been playing, watching, what have you. We'll try maybe a news segment after that, just go over some stories, test that out, and then we'll end it off with maybe some logo things. Is that a thing we could do?
Probably.
How about just the reveal of the logo? Seems like we got one.
Well, I don't think it's a reveal of a logo. It's a reveal of a logo.
That's what I was saying.
Alex, did you bring your sketch pad?
Absolutely not.
Incredible.
Don't worry, I made a doodle.
Was there a reminder in the chat?
No.
Why wouldn't there be a reminder?
We were all expected to be adults.
Yeah.
No, wait. First of all, no one came the first time.
We all...
So with anything, I was the only one with ideas up here, and now that I'm the one that doesn't have a second time, I'm the bad guy.
As adults, we all stressed about it and waited till the last minute to
I
do
believe
something.
if you replay the video, it says what we say will happen, we will do.
True. You're right.
Eventually.
You're right. You're right. So
Still on the right over here.
that's still up and coming.
Yeah.
So I figured we could start with what you've been up to, what you've been playing.
Wait, let me clarify something real quick. What are these stories that we're gonna get to? Because I don't want to blow my story load too early. If I tell a really good story during my.
I don't think they're more like news stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was like us sharing stories.
Oh no. You can off the cuff, whatever you feel.
Okay.
Yeah. So who do we want to start with? I know we started with Jake last time. Start with Jake again.
Back at him.
All right, Jake.
Back at it again.
What you been up to? What you been playing?
You know, video game wise, I haven't really played that much. I know last episode, Cameron talked about him and Alex had a movie pass, which I also had a movie pass, but I hadn't really been hitting the movies that much. But then at the end of the podcast,
Jake, we got to address the tapping.
Oh, I'm sorry. No tapping the table. But at the end of the podcast,
kick the table underneath.
it's like, but at the end of the podcast, I told Cameron, you know what? I'm going to put it upon myself to see every single movie, good or bad, most likely bad, that comes out in theaters for 2018. And boy, oh boy, I've only seen 2. But this week, I've seen 3 Billboards in Ebbing, Missouri. Great movie. Fantastic movie, I thought, in my opinion. I saw Insidious, The Last Key. Awful movie. I don't know if anybody's seen
Follow that up.
I don't know if anybody's seen it.
I haven't been utilizing my movie pass in the same way you have.
Right. I mean,
it really turned into some like masochistic effort where I just like it's.
I want to hurt myself.
It's up to that dude from what's the Angels and Demons prequel, the Tom Hanks joint.
Yeah, Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci
Yeah,
Code.
yeah.
You've got Paul Bettany.
Yeah.
Just like you see me over here. I've got like a
Harness attached to your tie.
harness attached to my.
If you get a boner.
It's just
But
made
see-
of bad tchotchkes of all the movies that came out this year.
But like every time there's just a terrible corny joke in a movie, I just put like I just take a knife and just cut myself with it. Because literally in all of these movies that I've seen, which
Don't put a Star Wars 8.
there's, I mean, yeah,
Too many
Star
of
Wars
those.
was way too much,
Might
but
bleed to death.
in all these movies that didn't need a comedic relief, they somehow managed to fit it in
Just
there.
squeeze her in.
Insidious, which I ranked it a 4 out of 10. It was really fucking bad.
Where are you reviewing these, sir? Where's your star? Where can I catch these reviews
You
at?
can catch these on my
Yeah, a 4 out of
notepad.
a 4 out of 10 what exactly?
4 out of 10 what? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like is it tomatoes, stars, Jakes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
This is a 4 out of 10 bangs.
This is a 4 out of 10 Browns, okay? Yeah. Yes. Kind of like, like Jake Brown.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, number 10, it's like
A big,
Made just for
nice
you.
brown,
Yeah.
like a nice.
Oh, good.
But, like, the worse the score, the shittier the brown.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
yeah.
That's what I was curious about.
I gave it a 4 because I don't know if anybody's seen the Insidious movies.
no one.
No one has?
Mm-mm.
No, I've seen.
You seen a few, Jimmy?
They're good.
Yeah. I mean, the first 2 were good. I didn't really care for 3.
I haven't seen the most. Yeah, I've seen number 1
But
and 2, I think.
this one was pretty bad. I mean, it was everything about the Insidious movies is just jump scares. That's it. That's all they got going for them.
Okay.
So, and the worst part about it is that you know when they're coming, and then when they actually happen, they have like this violin in the background.
Mhm.
Which, like, the violin person just goes like as hard as they can. You're like, whoa! Like the noise is louder. than the
Maybe
actual
that
jump
violin
scare.
person was just on set,
Yeah.
and they were so scared that they
true.
kind of
That's
moved.
true.
Very true.
That
Yeah.
just makes everybody else jump in the
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
Conductor's like, wait, do that again.
Yeah. Where were you when you made that sound? I was fucking scared.
Everyone leave. Everyone go.
We found our sound.
But I say like the bad comedic relief because like in Insidious, there's like the paranormal investigator chick and she's got two guys, but there's like one dude that looks like a grotesque looking version of Jack Black with like long hair and it just looks gross. And then there's like this nerdy guy, but then they're like trying to hit on chicks. I'm like, this is a horror movie. Like, what's going on?
That sounds like regular fare for me for B horror.
Yeah,
I don't know where
it's a
Insidious
slasher
falls
thing.
into B horror or not.
No, this is like it's supposed to be like a AAA horror film.
Triple A. Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay, maybe not.
it wasn't.
But instead we're talking 4 Browns.
Yeah, this is a Four Browns movie. But I also saw, last night I saw Den of Thieves with Gerard Butler and 50 Cent.
Okay.
Good old 50 Cent. What was he doing in the movie? Isn't he bankrupt right
Not
now?
since Get Rich or Die Trying.
Exactly.
Vitamin water brought him back.
That pitch he threw out at that Cubs game a couple years ago, he crawled out of that hole.
I thought that was a pretty good movie. I gave it a 8 out of 10 Browns.
8 out of 10
8 out of 10
Browns?
Browns,
God
yes.
damn.
Unprecedented.
I was starting to think these Browns are just being
For
given
a
out
Gerard
willy-nilly.
Butler movie.
What? Yeah, Gerard Butler.
I'm sorry.
Now look.
What's wrong with Gerard
We
Butler?
have not seen
I
it.
love Rock and Rolla. He's in it. Fantastic. The last couple years for Gerard Butler have not been kind.
No, it has not.
What would you
There's
say-
someone.
what would
I
you
think
say
this
that's-
is-
What about that Jamie Foxx movie?
Rock and
Which
Rolla?
one?
One where he was in prison.
Okay.
How about Phantom of the Opera? How about that one?
I don't remember that
It was
one.
real good.
Was he the Phantom? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
wasn't the Phantom?
Let's solve this mystery that I have. It's
Jamie
the-
Foxx in prison.
Isn't it Jamie Foxx? It's where Gerard Butler has gone to prison for killing a bunch of people, but he keeps
Law-abiding citizen.
law-abiding
We were
citizen.
talking about it
okay.
Okay.
That was more than a few years ago. I think that was like 2012,
12,
2010.
I think even earlier.
I like that
29.
movie.
It was a while. I don't know, whatever.
But I
liked it.
I honestly think this would be Gerard Butler's comeback role because that's it was
After
a-
Machine Gun Preacher.
Wait,
Yes.
what was the one where he
Like Weather Storm.
where
or
he's
whatever.
he's like protecting the president. He's like a
And then that other
White
movie
House
came
Down.
out.
Yeah,
London
yeah,
Has
yeah.
Fallen.
What they both came out within like 2 months of each other. With
Yeah.
White House Down and London Has Fallen.
Who was
But
in the
like
other
one was more serious and one was like
One had
more
Channing
funny.
Tatum.
That
Okay.
was Olympus. No, Olympus Has Fallen was the one with Gerard Butler.
What the fuck? Is White House Down the subtitle?
White House Down is the one with Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx.
It's two identical
It is
movies.
But
Morgan
they literally
Freeman
came. That
and
one was in.
Two-Face is the other president, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
That's the Gerard Butler one, right?
No, Gerard
Yeah.
Butler was it Morgan Freeman as president?
I don't think so.
I think it was, the
Two-Face.
Thank You for Smoking, yeah. that guy.
Podcast where we
Oh,
guess
he might
about
have been the
everything.
vice
It's
president
like-
or something.
He's a
What is
good
it?
actor.
He might have. Morgan Freeman might have been the.
No, he was in.
He was like the Secretary of Defense or something.
I think he might have been in the movie. He's just all over the place.
Yeah, for
maybe they were
everything.
they were actually one movie and they cut them into 2 movies.
Mhm.
They're like, we have too much good content.
Yeah, too
here.
much good stuff.
Yeah, we gotta split it.
Well, Gerard Butler, you got your plug, so I hope you're happy.
Yeah,
Give us the money.
Yeah.
Guest on the show next week.
Come on,
for sure.
Did you ever see Superstorm or Weather Storm?
Geostorm?
Geostorm.
No, I did
Okay.
not, because I was like,
He didn't have Movie Pass at that time.
yeah, exactly.
He wasn't watching
If I had
every film that came out in a
every
single
film
year.
of 2017.
You gotta make some moves.
If you had to guess on the scale, the Brown scale,
Yes.
where does he rate? Where would Geostorm theoretically rate?
I mean, wasn't it basically the day after tomorrow, but with a?
He's in space.
But it's.
I think the
space.
storms are bigger.
Oh, you're
The
right.
storms are bigger because
That makes
it's
it
controlled
automatically a
by.
little better, though.
Are you saying the day after tomorrow was not a good movie?
No, I'm just saying bigger storms, better
I'm gonna
movie.
put you
In,
That's
in-
on the
block.
in retrospect, The Day After Tomorrow was an incredible film at age
At the
13.
time.
Looking back,
It was.
it probably wasn't the best.
I also blame the public school system for killing any love of that movie.
That movie,
Never had.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that was mostly Mr. Moore science class. Anytime we didn't have a damn thing to do in chemistry, we would pop on Day
It'd be
After
the
Tomorrow.
school's one copy of Day After
Yeah,
Tomorrow
they
that
just
pass
rotated
from
around.
class to
You'd
class.
see it like between every
Y'all got
period.
good ass movies. We just got.
We know
Bill
good ass
Nye the
movie.
Science Guy.
Movie,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Occasionally
Sorry.
Transformer, also the first
What?
Transformer. Yeah.
How do you work
Transformers or Transformer?
See, that was in reading.
It's in your shop class,
Yeah.
you know. Like
You have to have subtitles for a lot of the Autobots.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, that's cool.
Yeah.
No games
I mean, not really.
in a week. Wow.
I mean, Fortnite and a little bit of Assassin's Creed still, but
Yeah.
nothing wild.
How's that coming along?
What, Assassin's Creed?
Mm-hmm.
Still collecting question marks.
Okay.
That's it. I'm waiting for Dragon Ball Fighters to come out this week.
Okay. Yeah, the fighting
Is that a
game.
fighting game?
Yeah. It's
But it's like-
anticipated.
and it's
like
supposed to
3D,
be
2D.
like
I
it's
think that's
supposed to be
pretty
like
cool.
the best
I
one
can
that's
miss
ever
that.
come out of that series, apparently.
Well, right now what they're saying is that with the lull in fighting games, I guess the backlash the Super Street Fighter got.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess the fighting games were kind of like peak back in the fucking 80s or 90s. But
I mean,
when did Street Fighter
like
2
4 or
came
5
out?
years ago, like
Yeah.
They
got
were
brought hard.
They were. I guess people liked them, but I don't think they had mass appeal.
I mean,
And they
like-
never have.
I think more so than.
definitely
I
a
think it's like a
niche.
board game thing. Like when you tell people, like, "Hey, board games are bigger than ever," they're like, "Oh, really?" It's like, "Yeah, probably." Yeah. I think fighting games,
Maybe.
4 or 5.
It
'Cause
was-
you had Marvel vs. Capcom 3,
Yeah.
Street Fighter 4, like
Yeah.
pretty. Mortal Kombat was just getting good again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like good shit. Now we got like Street Fighter 5, which is now better, but
It's
still not great.
Yeah.
That
Marvel
release was
vs.
bad.
Capcom 3, garbage.
Infinite,
Or
yeah.
Infinite,
Everybody
garbage.
hates it.
Really, it's just
Everyone
Tekken.
seems
Yeah,
to like
pretty much.
Injustice, which the
Yeah,
few times
yeah,
I've played those
Injustice.
games are always cool.
Yeah.
Tekken 7 is also that's supposed to be
Tekken's the one where
Soul
you control
Calibur's about to come
each
out.
button controls a different lens.
That's a weird
that's,
one
that's
for me.
called ARMS,
Soul Calibur?
I think.
Yeah, just
I think
Is
the
that what
last
I'm
Soul
thinking?
Calibur
I know.
game
I
played-
thought that you.
Maybe
I
I'm
thought
talking
that.
at
Oh,
once.
where each button is like left leg, right?
This is
Yeah.
on the left here.
Like
for
you're
this
into left
conversation.
leg attack, right leg
This is
attack.
weird.
Yeah.
I think that's what the game is.
I'm
The
not
last
sure.
5 seconds was inaudible content.
Yeah, for sure.
It was
For
just-
sure.
there's
Just
two
multiple
conversations.
conversations.
We were
Yeah.
talking
Just like,
time.
yeah.
Just like
We're
whatever.
talking about Soul Calibur. You guys are talking about something else.
Ooh, did they come out with a recent edition of that?
No, they came out with a trailer for it, but
Yeah, they're
The la-
remaking like the first one.
yeah.
What is that out for? Because it used to be like
PS4.
Sega Dreamcast.
Yeah, I
Is
assume
where-
all the
Yeah, it's probably
major
all-
consoles.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Actually,
not
no.
Switch.
I think PlayStation has exclusivity of it.
Okay.
Is that a word? Exclusivity.
Well,
You're getting
You're
there.
adding a T in there.
Yeah.
Exclusivity.
Exclusivity.
Yeah, English is a living language. So
Yeah.
you're okay. Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been in school, man.
That's cool, man.
Definitely gonna pick that.
I know she got some other movies listed there.
Yeah, I've this is my movie notebook. I've listed every movie that is coming out in 2017.
Oh.
March is a poppin' month. Okay.
Oh,
This
it's by
has-
month.
Yes, it's by
How
month. So
what if there were
And how far are you
32?
willing to drive to see a movie?
what do you mean?
Like,
Like-
for like one that has limited distribution.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I'm not doing that shit.
Okay.
Like, if it's not at the Cobb in Polk County,
Like
it's-
I went on movieinsider.com and everything that's bold is like theatrical release, like Insidious, Paddington 2, 12 Strong, Den of Thieves, all that. Everything not in bold is like A24 films that like get limited releases at like.
and so those are off the
mean,
list.
some of those are pretty good.
I mean,
Like Snowpiercer, that came out like 3 theaters. Pretty good.
I do want to see that Hostels movie with Christian.
Oh,
Bale.
I'm on that.
Oh, yeah.
It releases this week.
Yeah.
Does
I'm
it?
all over that.
I thought it came out last week.
No,
Yeah, this week.
well, I think for us, I did see something about it releasing on
I
the
do want to
18th,
see that one,
but I'm all over that.
I haven't seen. I don't know where they're playing that one out.
I think
I might have to try that one.
Do you have any movies that you're dreading in that list?
Yes, actually.
He has Browns. What are you gonna?
Let's see.
Bangs. Am I not gonna be gunshots?
50
whenever
Shades
we-
Free.
when we
Okay.
edit it?
What is that?
That's the 50. That's the last 50
What
Shades
if I
of Grey
goose?
movie.
Mine's definitely going.
Fine on set.
Early Man. I'm not excited to see Early Man. That's
What's
the new
that movie?
Wallace and Gromit movie.
Okay. Why?
Yeah.
I'm not just. I mean.
Wasn't going
Chicken
right.
Run was awesome.
I mean, no, wait. It's not Wallace and Gromit. It's by the
Chicken
people that
Run.
made it. Wallace.
Are we about to review, give our opinions on every film that's coming out in 2018?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Well, I just want to see the ones he's not looking forward to.
Yeah, like the ones that I'm like really want to hate myself while I'm watching it. War with Grandpa, which changed its name to Undercover Grandpa, which has James Caan in it. He's the grandpa.
James?
Yes, that works for he works for the FBI, so that's gonna be great. Alpha, that one doesn't look good.
Yeah. I think it may be good, but that trailer is the corniest trailer
Yeah,
I've
it
ever
really
seen.
is. The
Yeah.
one where he's like, "Oh, I've fallen in love with a wolf."
Yeah,
He
man.
doesn't. Hang on, he doesn't.
I've
fall
fallen in love
This
with
isn't bestiality. He just.
Yeah, we already did that with.
That would put the movie over the top for me.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Because once I see, so like, wait a
the
second.
trailer's right here, but the movie's up here.
That'd be a heck of a turn for that movie,
Oh, it'd
Liam,
be
the
amazing.
Gray. Liam
Yeah,
Neeson.
exactly.
Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Sadly not.
They're at the end, and Liam Neeson's reading the poem that his dad wrote, and he's says it off, and he's got like a piece of glass in his hands, and the wolves are all around him, and it cuts to black. It cuts to black, and knowing what had happened to him, but he's just like fade back in, just fucking gangbang, just Liam Neeson giving it to him one good time.
I would love it if just for seeing all the people exit the theater. Except for me. I gotta see what happens.
It's like the end of every Marvel movie where you just like the credits, and it's like you start hearing some music.
I love that what Marvel has done to movie theaters nowadays, because no matter the fucking movie, no matter what it is, there are people sitting there. Like we just saw Darkest Hour, and in the final scene, there are people sitting there waiting. And I'm just picturing, like, what are they going to go? It's like, next time on,
it's like Hitler in space on his throne.
Yeah,
holding the fist.
And that's what Marvel's done. Like, why are these people sitting here? Just get out of your chair. Like, there's not a rush. There were 5 of us in the theater. You can go down the stairs, my dude. Like, it's not like this was not a packed out showing here of Darkest Hour. I don't know. I love thinking about that when I go and see.
I think about it every time I get up from my chair. I'm like, is there a sneak peek?
You're so right.
Is there a sneak peek?
No matter what it is, like, is there going to be some mid-credit scene?
Like Star Wars, I thought that, and like that's not even that far fetched.
Star Wars, that makes sense.
It could do it.
Yeah, I don't. Like, Alex, you didn't see the amazing sneak peek in Star Wars?
Just Darth Vader murdering a bunch of people again. Yeah.
But what if they were just like outtakes? Like he's like murdering all those people, but he starts laughing.
I would love it. That would piss off so many people. Just a shrugging Darth Vader.
Like someone like the Star Trooper like bumps his or Stormtrooper bumps his head, and then like everybody starts laughing on set. Alright,
like
guys, roll
Trooper.
it back. Star Trooper would be that was the second choice.
Star Trooper.
That's cool, man. Anything else?
No, that's it. Oh yeah, to add to the worst movies that I don't want to see. Number 1 being Tomb Raider. I don't want to see that one.
Numero uno? Because
uno.
it can't compare to the old Angelina Jolie.
No,
flicks.
it just looks bad.
It does look real bad.
Have you seen the CGI for that? Like, you know how like in all the Tomb Raider games, she's over the top getting her ass kicked, but like the CGI is fucking.
Well, that's not what I'm stuck on. Like, whenever I get stuck on, usually it's like when the characters open their mouths and say something. I've yet to hear a piece of dialogue that's like, that was a good one. I definitely want to reshoot that one, but apparently they're going to go with it.
It makes me nervous for seeing what they're doing with that.
And they have good actors in that.
It makes me nervous for the Uncharted movie.
That's true.
Because that's one of my favorite probably IPs or
Is it actually coming out now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Who's lead?
They haven't announced.
I keep
Gerard Butler.
the script is through. Apparently, it's. I've seen over the past years. I've seen news clips like, "All right, the script is out. Like it's headed for."
Because we're near a decade now.
Yeah,
but they've been talking about it.
Yeah, I remember like writing about that in like 2010. I was like, Mark Wahlberg was going to be the guy.
I just remember the dude who wrote it was posting on it was like Twitter or Instagram. It was like, this shit's gonna be batshit crazy. So, like, that's exactly what I wanted from my Uncharted. Like, they haven't just built this incredible narrative over the last game. Like, oh wow, you're gonna fucking trash my favorite
like directed
character.
by Michael Bay.
Yeah, and that's what it seems like it's gonna be. Like a Tomb Raider-esque envisioning of this incredible that story. If y'all who haven't played Uncharted, which I'm thinking. At least, did you play Uncharted?
I played all of them.
Okay, yeah. So at least 3 of you guys. If you're invested enough to have played 1, 2, and 3, I think 4 really does that series justice.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
good
my
closer.
2-year-old game review, but definitely check that thing out. It does some
3-year-old game review.
It does some really special stuff.
So it would have been Mark Wahlberg back in 2010. You're speculating.
No, it was like an announced thing. It was like between him, like Nathan Fillion. At one point, he was a voice actor.
Nolan North.
Nolan North was also one of them. Yeah.
So I mean,
it was basically the Halo
fast
treatment.
Forward now, who would you project? I think it's got to be Chris Pratt. He's the hot topic right now.
Well, I don't
care
Chris Pratt is the new Indiana Jones, isn't
he? Is he really?
Yeah.
He's in every.
Sure, it's not Shia.
No.
How many?
They might as well have made him Han Solo.
How many massive franchises?
Just in everything.
Yeah.
Exactly. What the
You get
hell?
Jurassic Park.
No, he's the
This dude's gonna die, and then everyone's gonna be SOL. Like just all the series fucking end. No more Jurassic Park, which might be a good thing. Just
Why would that be good?
Because Jurassic World wasn't very good.
Milk it.
Thank you.
Just
I feel like I was all right.
I hated that.
Just keep on
I
going.
don't know if I hated it. It was the same feeling like I have for Star Wars and all that stuff nowadays. It was just kind of like,
As long as there's still dinosaurs running around, I'm good with whatever they do.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah. That's all I need.
Dinosaurs are always great.
Yeah.
I was really not thinking it's great. Everyone was like, "Hey, what's his Buffett was in it? He was holding his margarita."
Yeah, like, oh, little Buffett cameo.
I was like, "Oh, cool!" All the movies surrounding it.
It did make some good cosplay.
I guess.
I don't know. I saw one guy dressed up as and that's when it like really exploded.
Dressed as
Jimmy Buffett
Jimmy
from
Buffett, yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, with the margaritas.
Lost World.
not just dressed as Jimmy Buffett.
Yes, to specifically just like run around with the margaritas the entire time. I also saw that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you're right. It's the dinosaurs everywhere. He's over here like slurping one down.
Well, I mean, imagine if you were actually in the park. He definitely just dropped at least $40 on those bad boys.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
I didn't even catch that scene either.
Once you're on the island, like they've got you hook, line, and sinker. Like you have nowhere to go for food.
I wonder if it's all inclusive.
Like
you pay like
If you have the Disney prize.
What incentive do they have? They have the only dinosaurs on Earth. You've got to come to them. What incentive do they have to not rake you over the coals?
Well, I mean, I think that's the same kind of. You could make that same point with like Westworld. Like,
I think they do get you.
Yeah, this shit seems expensive.
Yeah.
well, no, but they do like $40,000 a day or something like that.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying it's cheap. I'm just saying maybe you pay $40,000 a day to go to Jurassic World, and everything's worth that price.
I think this brings up a great point, though. In this universe where it's achievable to have these dinosaurs, and they've been around for 30 years, surely China has a ripoff of it.
Oh, for sure.
So, like, they need to have a whole spin-off episode of, like, let's go to this one.
No, it's not like that. It's like, that's kind of like a goat, but you did something.
Yeah.
Now it looks sick.
I think it'd be a good movie choice.
It's just other goats eating goats, and then that's the. But have y'all seen the new trailer for that movie?
Jurassic World?
Jurassic World 2.
The whole volcano thing
Well, they're
seems
like-
a little stupid.
Yeah, they're like the dinosaurs are getting off the rock or whatever. Like they just show a bunch of I don't even know the Spinosaurs or whatever like hopping into the ocean. Like it's
just like where does
what
it
are they
end?
gonna swim?
Are they
And it's
gonna
like,
do
what's
Lost
going to happen with the
Run
whole
off the side from the
volcano going
volcano.
off and
They
destroying
were.
the island? It's like,
So I think they died.
But are you sure? Because it seemed to me an awful lot like they were acting like the dinosaurs were going to escape to the real world because they start alluding to like they're going to be here long after us. They're like
Yeah, if we're not careful.
Yeah, if we're not careful.
And the same character
Jeff
says like
Goldblum.
life finds a way.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum is always going to be there reminding you that dinosaurs will find a way.
Yeah, I don't know if he can do it though.
Here,
Was he
let
in
me see your
Independence?
Let me see your hand.
Oh god damn it!
Just hold it there. I don't remember what it does, but if it runs a certain way,
It's something about
life
chaos.
finds a way.
Yeah. Thank you. But yeah, I did say the trailer. I'm not feeling too hot on it. We'll see. I have a feeling the next movie will be just dinosaurs in Manhattan again.
yeah.
Where does it go?
We're back, a dinosaur story.
We're Back
Yeah.
is so good. We're back. That's
It's
Good
just-
old John Goodman.
the anthem of my childhood.
When that trailer comes out, we're gonna think like, is that Rampage 2 or is that the next Jurassic? Okay, but yeah, that's cool.
That'd be a good movie.
I would love to see a live action.
Rampage, I'm
We're
actually
Back.
kind of looking forward to. That got dumb enough.
George.
Yeah.
How did that work on the vocals?
Yeah, you're actually okay. You're
Alrighty.
good. Yeah.
Try harder.
Louder.
That's good. Is that all for you then?
Yeah. Oh, number 2 is
How
gonna be
long
Mamma
is this
Mia.
like?
Yeah, how long have we given Jake to talk
Way
about
too
his
long.
movies?
Decent amount, about 20 minutes. Yeah.
We each get at least 20 minutes.
Is that
Oh, you
all?
could- Yeah, I was gonna say Tomb Raider and Mamma Mia. I'm not looking forward to seeing.
Mamma Mia. Is that like the ABBA thing or is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mamma
Okay.
Mia
Wasn't
too.
that done?
Dreams come true.
It's
Oh,
back.
okay.
Yeah, they're bringing it
We're
back.
back.
Yeah.
It's John Goodman in Mamma Mia. I would watch the shit out of that.
I mean, that's your dad's fault though.
Yeah, that it's coming back.
Well, yeah, that.
That old man loves
It's like
Mamma
we're
Mia.
doing this just for Ryan.
Also, like having you be able to like stand ABBA.
Me stand up?
Yeah.
I cannot stand.
Oh, really?
No,
Okay, so you
I
read it out of
fucking
you.
hate ABBA.
Okay. I thought he like assimilated you.
No, it was the point they would at some point after that movie. This is DVRs and everything like that was happening around that time. So it came on TV one time and he DVR'd it. It was that film was on DVR for like 6 years. At some point in there, So you'd walk in, they'd be like, "Dancing Queen,"
Like,
and
Pierce
you'd, like,
Brosnan is singing that
the
one
whole
song.
family is just like in a show tune, like out there, like doing their thing. They got the ABBA Gold Greatest Hits CD and would just put that thing. It was, and then they taped shut the CD recorder in the car because it wasn't coming out. They'd get in, they'd start it over every time. Like, all right, here we go. Everyone would like,
Yeah. No, I remember.
You liked it. You liked it.
No,
Alex is blushing.
My mom loved it. So I remember sitting in the theater seeing it with her.
In the theater.
In the theater.
Brave man.
I saw
For someone who didn't love it.
The whole thing.
Singing it in the theater.
Seeing it.
No.
Your mom sang it?
No.
In the theater? Your mom would be insufferable.
I was losing my mind.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic word of use, insufferable. No, the people who were insufferable were the two ladies to my right who did not give me the courtesy seat that you give everybody.
You mean the one where you get right on top of them?
Yeah, you
Empty
don't sit
theater,
right-
they sat right on
they
top
sat,
of you.
Like, we were like, and this is right when it came out, so the theater was popping. And we are, like, I think we had to sit in like the third row and comfortably close for that movie. And they're wearing these pink boas. And like when the music comes on, they like stretch them out, and like, again, I'm right here. And they're like flexing on, like, you know, straight flexing on Mamma Mia with these pink fluffy feather boas. And it's just, I still have nightmares.
Boa's creeping up front of the bed.
Is
So, Jimmy, what you been up to? What you been playing?
Wait, I did have one more thing to add to that.
Yeah, what's up?
Sorry, back to movie theaters. I saw Darkest Hour last night, and if you...
Hey, Cameron, what you been playing? What you been
No, wait, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you skip Jimmy. I just want to say one more thing. So we're watching Darkest Hour, and if you know anything about that movie, anything about the character, Winston Churchill, he's supposed to be this incredible orator, you know, magician with words, whatever you want to call him.
Talkative son of a bitch.
The interesting thing about that is, you know, you think this guy is so incredible, and they're making films about him. I actually had someone who was better than him sitting right behind me.
Oh.
It was what a blessing. They sat.
That's good to know.
He would be in the middle of his speech, and they would predict what he was going to say. They'd be like, "Freedom, fight, surrender." They would just yell these things out in the middle of.
We will take this fight to the SeaWorld. You're going to take it to SeaWorld.
It's like really bad mad lib. That's what they're called, mad libs. They're filling in the blank.
That's good to know, you know, just in case World War III comes along. We got that guy in the pocket at least.
Yeah, but the funny thing is they came into the theater in the middle of the movie. It was like 30 minutes in. Okay. They sat down and they said, "Oh, look, it's Winston Churchill." I was like, "What's happening?"
Get out your index card.
Yeah, it was the entire theater. Similar situation, entire theater. A couple old people up behind me. They sat right next to me. One of the friends put their feet up on bare feet, mind you, bare feet up on the headrest to my right. So occasionally I would be laying back and like.
You should have turned around and spit on him.
Yeah, just like
He practically got dominated.
You're right. It was definitely a beta move on my part.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, if I was an alpha,
You definitely got movie cucks.
Yeah. Movie cuck is my new favorite word.
Yeah, that's
anytime someone balls on you at a movie theater, you got movie cuck.
Podcast word of the day. Podcast word of the day.
God damn it!
We're gonna add that to Urban Dictionary, just like twibbing.
Yeah, twibbing. Every week we come up with a word.
Yeah,
we're on it, baby.
Yeah.
All right, back to Jimmy.
Jimmy, what you been up to?
All right, so honestly, not much that was memorable. But as far as games that I haven't played in a while, played some Warhammer 40K, which was cool.
Okay.
Because we've got a local group, the Brohammer group, and it's actually apparently in, I don't know if it's the United States, the world, but it's a team of local Warhammer players who I guess are top 20 in the world or United States or something, but they need another member. So they're trying to donate into this Tyranid army. It's like the alien, like xenomorph type dudes, so that I can also play the game. So Dan is trying to introduce me to this army, and we played a game, and, you know, it was cool.
Everything you just said confused me.
Dice games.
It's the alien xenomorphs. So you got that.
Okay, so let's preface this. It's one of those tabletop games where you have the miniatures, you glue them together, and you paint them and stuff.
Like the boat game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Similar.
Oh, so
with
we
rulers and stuff.
we kick ass at this shit, bro.
So Warhammer 40k has been around since like the 80s, I think, but it's like the big one, and you make the big armies of the painted stuff, and this army, it's called Tyranids, and all of them look just like xenomorphs. It's like different forms of xenomorphs.
Do you know how much this army is? Like US
Price?
Yeah.
Somewhere between $800 to $1,200. Yeah, it's expensive. This game's
That is
real
a hobby.
expensive. And that is like, comes in a cardboard box, you pull out the plastic pieces, snip them off of the
Could you get
screw.
like a 3D printer? I mean, just like
Yeah. The problem is that
You should have let him finish what he was talking
Sorry,
about.
yeah.
The way that these things come packaged do not justify the price. Like they're they come printed on a little plastic sheet, and you got to cut them out and glue them together yourself.
and then
my
paint
man.
them. So
And then paint them.
How many are there?
It depends on
It just
what
depends on what
characters are.
package.
Yeah, so it's like you have pieces of a body, and you put the two pieces together, and then you glue the head on, and then you glue the arms on, and then you put it on your
I did not
base.
realize that. I figured it
Yeah.
just came.
No, yeah.
I think it would be so cool to paint them, like just to get good at painting. That's what I was so interested in. But like the barrier to entry is like so.
It's real expensive.
It's so
But the thing is, there are other games that do the same thing, except they use like pewter models, which I like better, but they're harder to paint because it can scuff off really easy. But then it requires a lot less models. Like there's a game, Infinity, the one where it's just like, it's more like Space Commandos type game, uses between 8 to 15 models instead, and each model again is between $8 to $15 on its own, but you can make an army for $120 instead of $4.
That's so much more manageable
Yeah.
for introducing a player.
Honestly, I think the game's a little better too, because they just changed to a new rules edition for this game, but it's a D6 system, and like I was rolling whenever I had a full force unit shooting at another unit, I was literally rolling 81 dice. So I was just like, all right, let's pick out the 2s and the 1s.
That would be fun as
And then
hell.
re-roll the 1s. So like it was an
81
interesting time.
dice. I'm putting those in the dice tower. Like wait, clinking.
Yeah. So it was an interesting time.
Did they hear you like come to the game store? Like, all
You're
together?
carrying all of it. Yeah. You have-
sloshing around.
Yeah, people take that stuff very seriously. They have like army bags where it's like duffel bags with like military patches on them, but they're Warhammer 40k themed. And then you have these foam trays so your models don't break, and they're inside the foam pockets. And then all of the pockets inside are just chock full of dice. So it's and those bags alone are like $250. So it's a real expensive hobby. Like,
How does this industry struggle? I don't understand.
It's rough. But the thing is, you buy one of these boxes, and it might have 3 models in there, and that will cost you between $45 to $70 for those 3 models that you have to glue together yourselves. Probably about, literally, because it's plastic in a cardboard box, to create and distribute maybe $1.35.
How big are they? Like
It
size-wise?
depends. So, like, basic infantry, about that big, 28 millimeter game. And then you have, like, the elite force type guys might be about this big. Tyranid army, the biggest guy is a Trigon. He's this big, but just because he's, like, a big snake guy that goes up in the
How expensive would that guy be?
on his own, I think he's 45. But then
I was expecting more.
45 to 60. You can check it out. It's on GamesWorkshop.com. But the thing is, this game, if you are a retailer in this game, there is no rotation of stock. You can't sell anything brand new in package for its actual value. The store has to have 20% off on everything at all times. Like, this is like, Games Workshop sells this for 60. Here you could buy it for 45 because you have to. Otherwise, it won't sell. And then if you buy that for 45 and you never take the plastic off and you put it in your shelf and you pull it out, you will never find somebody to resell it. You automatically sell it at 60% or lower because nobody will ever buy this stuff for actual price because it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand the game. I don't understand the marketing of the game. I love playing games like that, but I hate the whole like Ponzi scheme of it all.
Seems weird, like a weird pump and dump for plastic figurines.
Yeah. So
it's so strange if the system is so fucked.
Yeah.
Why does someone not come in and like, no, we're gonna sell it for $3.
Yeah,
like,
they make like a.
where's that one guy? Like, are they just getting drowned out by
It's
the
right here.
Oh, yeah.
Right here. Well, the issue is this company specifically sues anybody who gets near them.
Near their IP,
propriety type stuff, and they have specific, like, for you to sell their products, you have to have $2,000 of inventory purchased and on your shelf, and you have to sell it at a certain price because you can't undermine their online prices to a certain extent.
Trading card companies do the same thing.
Yeah. So, and then the group is the biggest. So you have a bunch of other games that might be cheaper, but nobody else plays them. So since you actually have to sit across the table from somebody, it's like, oh, well, like, what do you play? Warhammer 40K. I guess I'm getting into that game. Like, that's literally all you got.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I've got an Infinity Army that I really like because I really like the game. I can't find anywhere to play unless I drive 45 minutes to an hour and a half. And then Dan's over there down the street playing Warhammer 40K. So it's like, oh, well, what am I going to play? Like, I don't know. But a game that is a lot more affordable and more to my liking anyway, HeroClix, which I haven't played in a while. I just found while trying to build a team for this past Saturday, which Libby didn't let me go to anyway, I found Booster Gold, as you guys might know, my favorite superhero comic book character. They made a limited edition. It's a tournament-only version. I did not because they didn't have him. Apparently they're going to have him this week and later, so I'm going to get in there. I usually don't build competitive teams because I feel dirty. I'm going to be dirty this week. It's going to be like Booster Gold. Yeah, these guys won't know.
Maybe scumming it up.
Yeah, so, but...
Jimmy comes in with his duffel bag full of stuff.
Chinked in my dice.
HeroClix in the fucking pockets.
Yeah. So
he's got a D20 teardrop on his eye. Like 3 or 4 of them because this dude done murder some
taking
people.
him out.
Yeah.
Maybe get a briefcase and then right before you walk in, get a little dry ice and put it in a little bit of water. So you just like really fucking intimidate
the weapons.
He turns into the showman.
So
we could be your PR team, Jim.
I want to be your hype man in the corner.
If we can have it ready by Saturday, I'm good. We're
like after a particularly rough round, like we get you in the corner, like massaging your shoulder, and you spit into a bucket.
I've got super glue on your cheeks.
I love this idea.
Yeah.
It's a good plan. But they came out with 2. And one of them I did buy on eBay because I didn't realize that our local venue was going to have it. I thought this was long gone by the time I saw it. But you have Booster Gold and you have Skeets. And Skeets is his partner, little robot partner.
That's a good name.
Yeah, I know. Skeets. This is from the 80s. It was innocent then. But they...
Pre-Little John.
This is the first time they ever made a rendition of this character on his own. And it is freaking crazy. I'm actually doing a Filthy with a Chance of Meta video on it. Should be coming out in a day or 2 on the channel.
That's cool. I do appreciate that. The fan love that company apparently has, the HeroClix, because they put out so much shit.
Yeah.
Like, you could find anything, like Batman shitting on a toilet. Like,
Yeah, $100.
Tell me, they probably do have that. Someone's on a fucking toilet.
They have the throne one. Yeah.
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 That was one I was
Batman
thinking
and
of,
Meatron's chair. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
You could say it's a fancy toilet. But it craps on everybody else. But the... I don't know. I just thought it was super neat because I ended up buying it anyway because I was like, I just want this really bad and didn't think that they'd have it locally. So
yeah, I like HeroClix. I not for the game because I tried to play it. I couldn't because there's a lot of rules. But they have a whole lot of really interesting sets. I think they have Gears of War. They have Halo. They have Pacific Rim, which is an incredible movie, one of my faves. Everyone else disagrees, whatever.
You man.
And then they have BioShock Infinite. So they dip their toes into other games and they make pretty cool little models for them. So even if you don't want to play the game, you can at least get into it for collecting, which I think would be maybe my venue for doing it.
Yeah, they also have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff, which is what got me back into the game most recently. And then I think this whole Booster Gold thing being limited edition, I think that's going to get me back in again. But
good drug. Jimmy's scratching the whole podcast.
Just like I can't get
what the fuck is wrong with Jimmy?
Reintroduction. And then last thing, I guess, I just like last week I was talking about trying to get real good at those fighting games. Injustice 2. This time last week, I had talked about how Corey had kicked my butt in Injustice 2. Okay. Well, since then I've been training up, and on Monday and Tuesday played that game and put him down.
Really?
Put him down.
Cut to a Rocky flashback. It plays
That's
right
right.
into our Cut Man thing.
Yeah.
We're at the Injustice game,
Now, it was
mopping Jimmy up. Like,
It was definitely a good back and forth. I did way better than I did last time, depending on character choice and stuff. But definite improvement. So, on the way to my goal of being the best.
So what you're saying is you're going to be esports material?
That's
in
right.
a month from
Yeah.
now?
Next month is going to be Sonic Fox. I'm just going to... Yeah. It'll be great.
Actually, you did start a new podcast yesterday, right?
Yeah, we did. We're doing the Super Wet podcast. Now, we're going to be doing it on Tuesdays, and then the general consensus was to give it a week of editing and put it out every Thursday, but we'll be 1 week behind. So yesterday's video will be next Thursday. The issue I have with that is that we're trying to hit like topical news,
Yeah.
and
I think it's rough.
last
Yeah.
week tonight, kind of.
Yeah.
You get to cover old topics. Wait, never mind.
Yeah, so I think it's fine, I guess. We're going to see how it goes. Because the thing is, once we do hit an episode, we're like, this just came out and we're hot on it, and I feel like we need to get this out quick. It's like, well, 2 episodes this week? Like, I don't know, because then you catch up immediately.
Yeah, you have double the editing and all that stuff. You gotta think about all that. Yeah.
It's a bit of pain. Yeah.
And also, I'm not gonna say we're jealous.
What do you mean?
We're not jealous. That's all.
Good.
That's all. I'm not jealous, and I think that should be said.
Well,
That's all.
let me just preface with, it is a 100% different format. So, yeah,
I mean, we
No
probably
table?
could have adapted to almost, but we're not jealous.
we do both.
Yeah. You know, if you were to like fire that whole crew and get us all in on it, I think we would have to consider it. But we're not jealous.
We just do it twice a week. Good plan.
What is
The 4 of us are going to start a
the podcast
podcast called the
It's a
Extra
super wet
Extra
podcast.
Super Wet
Yeah.
podcast. Super duper wet podcast.
XX wet.
Wet sucks, dry rules.
We're the dry boys.
Welcome to the Dry Boys, formerly known as Game Bangerz, formerly known as the Goof Troop. I'm your host.
Just line the table with Jergens.
Yeah.
Well, that was my week. Week and a
All right, man.
summary.
How about you, Karen? What
I
you been up to?
have. Oh, you've heard my qualms with the movie.
Darkest Hour?
The movie industry, or whatever, the movie pass and all that business. I've been seeing the same movies. I'm not going to drone on about which ones I have and have not seen. 3 Billboards is real good. Go check her out. What's her name? Frances McDormand. I think she's nominated for an Oscar for that. I think she probably deserves it. Definitely not Meryl Streep, who was also nominated for her role in The Post, which the movie was not good. It's also nominated for Best Picture. They're just
Really?
fucking pandering to Meryl
Would you say
Streep and
not
her
good?
million fucking Oscars. It was okay. I didn't have a great time. I was bored as shit through the whole
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, I would agree. I guess I would say it wasn't my cup of tea. I don't think it was a bad movie though.
No, it's not a bad movie,
Okay.
but I didn't super enjoy it, and I didn't think it did anything really all that
Sucks. I was
interesting.
looking forward to that one.
Yeah,
But you had a good time watching 3 Billboards.
yeah. 3 Billboards
So, like,
was 3 Billboards was it had a lot of really interesting characters. It had talk about comic relief, and when it's not not necessary. I think this movie really does a great job with it because it covers a lot of topics that are fairly heavy and handles them really, really tactfully, really well. And the characters that are in there really support the overarching theme of it. It's just, I don't know, if you have a chance before it exits theaters, I'm sure it's going to be pretty soon. Get out there, check it out. Not that it's such a cinematic spectacle that you have to see it in theaters, but I think it's a good one to sit, watch in a
Yeah,
theater,
like after the Oscars,
fully take it in.
You don't want to be like, man, I want to see this movie. Just go see it now because you're going to want to see it. I would say because it's definitely going to win stuff.
Yeah, I watched the first 30 seconds of the trailer. I hate watching trailers. I could go on for 15 minutes about why I hate trailers.
Please do.
No. And how they ruin movies nowadays and the way these
Absolutely, I agree.
the editors or whatever cut these trailers to get the most masses out to the theaters to see the movie. But
then
you've already seen the entire movie. So we watched about maybe 30 seconds. It showed the billboards. It showed like a few words across the screen, and I was like, all right, we're turning that off, and I'm going to go see it now. Because just after seeing that, I was pretty confident it was going to be an all right movie. So that was 3 Billboards. I think that was the other
Also,
movie.
I know we're going to talk about the Oscars later. I do want to give the Oscars a pass on Meryl Streep. I'm pretty sure just when they don't have anyone to fill in,
They
the form
just slot her
auto-completes.
to Meryl Streep.
Yeah, what's Meryl Streep been up to, Lisa? Jumanji 2. Okay.
If she wins it, I will riot. I will say that.
It'd be like her sixth one or something.
It would, I think, seventh. This was not a compelling performance at all.
Best actress.
And our president,
Yes, it's for best actress.
President Trump also said that she's a B-lister.
So they should take that into account.
Yeah, they should.
Maybe that's just to get
President
back at
Trump's
Trump.
He's out here nagging Meryl Streep trying to get at that.
Who Who else got nominated for this?
Frances McDormand is in it. I think we have a...
Yeah, we'll touch on that.
That's true, so we can go through and bitch about all the people who got nominated. Mostly shit from the Post that's in there.
Right.
So I saw that. I have, unlike other people, been playing games. I finished the Insane trilogy, which culminated with Warped. That was my most memorable one as a kid. I played that one to death. The interesting thing about that, I don't know if the game was easier or if playing 3 in a row was making me better, but I breezed through that one. It took me no time at all.
Little A, little B.
Probably, yeah. It made me wonder, at some point did Naughty Dog start pandering to little kids? Like
Star Wars.
Yeah, and just making the levels a lot easier, because the first two were definitely... There's some tough levels in there.
Also,
I didn't find that in 3.
I did some reading on it maybe a week or two back, and they did change a lot of the mechanics so that Crash would feel the same from game to game to game. So that may have caused issues in the first one that maybe you didn't in the third one.
You're probably right. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense that the first one suffered because they needed it to feel as good as 3.
Yeah.
They added a lot of more mechanics in 3. Same with 2. They iterated on the game as they went. Lovely. I had a big Naughty Dog week because I followed that up with Uncharted Lost Legacy, the DLC, whatever you want to call it, to Uncharted 4. Originally started as a DLC, eventually branched off into its own thing. It's starring Chloe Frazer, which you would remember from Uncharted 2. Did y'all play Uncharted 2? Cool. Uncharted 2, and then it had Nadine Ross, who she was... I don't know. I'm not gonna say antagonist. She was
in Uncharted 4.
She was in Uncharted 4.
With her fighting Nathan Fillion.
She kicked Nathan Drake's ass a couple times in Uncharted 4. Both characters that were okay, but overall I felt the story was good. They did what they came to do with it. It's made a couple characters that you didn't really care about before it started. Made them fairly likable by the end. The game itself, it's funny. I had heard going into Uncharted 4 that people were starting to think, I'm tired of climbing rocks and solving dumb little puzzles, and I think I'm just done with Drake. And I was like, fuck y'all! I just played all of the first 3. I moved straight into this. I played 4 Uncharted games in 1 year. I'm loving it. And now I played this one, and coming back to it, stepping away from it, and then coming back, I'm kind of getting that. Okay, maybe I have climbed enough rocks now. Maybe I don't need to see any more of these. Even if the stories are that good, I would rather that Naughty Dog take their huge teams and maybe work on something new. Maybe
they are. The Last of Us 2.
They are, but
a new IP.
They've got Last of Us 2 lined up, which
I'm sure it's
I'm excited.
all wheels ahead. Everyone's.
I'm sure it is, but I the way that this ends. And the way that I've read some interviews with after it released, the director, I don't remember his name, it's a new guy.
Yeah.
It alluded to the fact that they might not be done in the Uncharted universe. And there are characters in there that I would like to see more of. I love Sully. I love Cutter. Cutter from the third one he's a super funny guy. He's the bald British dude. Do y'all remember? Okay, whatever. So if something happened with those guys, I'd probably come back into it. Of course, they've got Nathan's brother Sam, which they introduced in 4.
I would almost rather they shipped it to a different company like Santa Monica Studios or something, and then
but at that point, I don't want that at all, because you want the storytelling that Naughty Dog has come to be known for in the last, I don't know when did Last of Us come, 7-8 years, that they've kind of earned that reputation of breaking AAA games. Those games look fucking incredible. The story is on point. They have really great voice actors that can, unlike most video games, actually tug at the heartstrings whenever they're speaking. It's not this stupid ass action movie dialogue.
Goes to my point though. I feel like I only played the first 3. I need to catch up, but I feel like there's enough Uncharted there to go. Hey, hey, you can leave it. No matter what happens with Uncharted going forward, we got these games, we got these stories. Good. I would love to see what you guys can do in a different universe with your whatever ideas you have in your head, because I'm sure they have a billion of them. Like, go do something new.
Talking about it with Naughty Dog, right?
Yeah, Naughty Dog.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Like, I'm glad I'm having a Last of Us 2, but I hope this isn't like. I hope I don't get to Last of Us 4 really.
Yeah.
As much as I love that world.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. You leave Uncharted 4 feeling like. First, you leave Uncharted 3 like, oh wow, that was a great ending to that series, and then they bring out 4, and I'm like, no, that was a great ending to that series. It takes all these characters that you've built relationships with and really puts a big fat exclamation point on that series. There's no fucking way they come back to Nathan. There's no way they show his, even in a cameo. I don't think they'll show his ass anymore.
They could pull like a Tomb Raider and just do the whole entire series with his daughter.
Oh, you're right. Could be.
I mean, he's got a daughter, and she's like, I kind of want to do some exploring like mom and dad. So they could be like Uncharted 7.
Yeah. We could find ourselves in some hellscape in which Naughty Dog is on their 7th fucking Uncharted and everything.
I think as long as Neil is director, that would hopefully not happen.
No, yeah, you're right.
At one part, all right. At what point does Uncharted become charted? After they've
and that's a solid question for most of the.
It's a good interview question.
It really is, because you're sitting there and you look at like, wow, this is an incredible palace, and you're like, we have Google Earth, like we have it, like you would have seen this shit. Like, there's no way this shit is Uncharted.
There's like military satellites that can see like a newly forming pimple on my face. Like, we missed this.
We're wondering how people are getting all our sick ideas and putting them on the internet before we are even done with this podcast. It's the government. They're doing it. They're listening in right now from Mars. There's secret beacon. But yeah, Uncharted. That was I got home from Darkest Tower last night, and Skylar was, like, oh, we're gonna watch a movie. We're gonna, it's YouTube. But I was like, babe, sorry. I put on my overalls and whatever. Like, I gotta hit the job. I gotta go in here and crank out a few hours in Lost Legacy before the podcast tomorrow. I was like, treating it like an absolute chore. Like, the game wasn't. The game, it had a great end. The shooting, everything is all right. But I did find myself doing a little bit. I kind of felt like an old man. I turned on the aim assist for a couple minutes, which will give you, it's like either instant headshots or you're like, okay, this is a breeze, like just running around, like just cruising through the landscape. It's like poof, just without a care in the world, murdering people. And I was like, okay, I had my fun with it. Like, I'm better than this. Turned it back on. It's the game's all right, whatever. I just think it was kind of unnecessary. And that's my Uncharted 4 review. And those are the games I've been playing. I did, right before this podcast started, I did put in Dark Souls 3 on my PS4. So next week we will have a Dark Souls 3 update.
I'd like to watch you play that a little bit.
Would you?
It, because I tried to play it. I'm not good at those games. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I tried to play, just because...
3 starts rough from what I hear.
Yeah.
It's just hard to me. I mean, I know that's the point of the game, but, it's just,
I
to the
love those
point where
games,
I don't enjoy it.
Let's put Alex on a Prepare to Die stream.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Fun.
Yeah, I'll give up after 6 minutes. It's like, I died to this guy 20 times. Cool.
That's funny you say that. When I played Bloodborne,
Oh god,
I loved Bloodborne.
I love Bloodborne. I had to I got it when it first came out. I tried to beat the Bloodstarved Beast
right there in the beginning.
Yeah. It's the second boss, third boss, and I'm like, fuck this game, and then I just gave up on it. But then I went back, beat it, and then I went and beat the game.
That's kind of what it takes. This is my first From Software game, and you boot in, you go through the first part, and in the first area, you just die over and over and over. And I clocked it in, and I was like, it was 55 minutes that I had not made any progress. And it was just like dying to the same dumb shit. And I stood up, went out, got some air, composed myself. It's not a game where you can kind of take it lackadaisically. No, you got to be focused in there, at least in those early levels, because those games are going to be punishing the most right in the beginning. They want you to get acclimated. Like, hey, this shit's not getting any easier from here, boy. Get ready for it down the line.
Yeah, when I first started playing it, I know I didn't play 1 or 2, so it was just because Emily's brother had it, and he wanted me to check it out. I was like, okay. I got in the first like big battle or boss fight or whatever, he was watching me play. He's like, "You're actually doing really good. Like, I'm really impressed." And then, like, pretty much right after he said that, I got fucking murdered. And I got to that same point every time, and I would get fucking murdered. And it just was like, Alex, you have some pretty solid gameplay mechanics down until this point, and it felt like it was.
Did you feel confused, like you were, or did you know what to do and you couldn't do it?
I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I think I had to do. I just couldn't do it.
That's the thing I love about those games is when you fuck up, you know you fucked up, you know why you fucked up, you know what you should have done instead, but you just weren't good enough.
Yeah, no,
and that's what separates itself from a Cuphead.
Not always.
Well, I know about your business.
Do you already know about my business?
I know that your game crashed a million times.
There we go.
Yeah. I guess you can't beat that boss.
Yeah. Dark Souls 1 Windows Live Service, fucking garbage. It took like 3 months to get that game running. That was by far the hardest boss. Once I booted up the game, I was like, why bother at this point? I know I won. I got all the souls. I lost my soul in the process. God damn it. That's cool.
All right. Well, so Dark Souls 3. Look for that hot take next week.
Is that all for you?
That's those are the games I played.
All right, Alex.
Okay. So I don't remember. I'm trying to think like back to Wednesday so I can start my week from there. So Thursday, we're just gonna write off Thursday. Friday.
Just laid in bed jerking it.
Yeah.
Woke up at 8. Just got to spanking.
Essentially.
I'm gonna lift some bricks tomorrow. Gotta get it out now.
So on Friday night, Saturday we saw Darkest Hour. I really enjoyed it too. I thought it was great, and it's kind of put me on this World War II thing, a little hot streak right now. I'm rewatching Band of Brothers, and I know Band of Brothers has been extolled, and it's just everybody sings its praises. It's fantastic. I do want to say one thing I really enjoyed about it this time.
Don't talk shit about Band of Brothers. Okay, good.
No, one thing I really enjoyed about it. We talked about this last night. Episode 6 is my absolute favorite. It's the one that focuses on the medic in Baston.
That's a good one.
And I think it's so good. But at the end of that episode, every time I've watched it, I think I've watched the series start to finish probably 4 or 5 times. I had for a while a yearly thing I'd watch it around the New Year's. I went for, home for Christmas break. Mm-hmm. Every time I get to that episode, I always feel emotionally just almost bankrupt. I'm just okay, they've really done this well. I'm tired of watching these really good actors, and also remembering that they're actual people that are in the story just die. It sucks.
That entire setting in that Band of Brothers segment where it's snowing and all that stuff.
Cold.
It's rough.
It's real bad. And I've been firing some hot tweets lately, and I threw this out to the Twitterverse. I said every time I watch this episode, I feel like I'm at my breaking point where I almost don't want to watch the show anymore. And then I put in the next disc, and lo and behold, the next episode title is The Breaking Point. And I thought that was amazing, that I felt that way, and that is kind of where they got to in the show at that point too, was the breaking point. Mm-hmm. I was okay, that's pretty cool. I'm sure that wasn't maybe the intent, but also I do think that they
maybe.
Well, I don't know if they wanted me to say breaking point and then read breaking point.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. But
the buzzer went off, and some movie executive is
but I really did appreciate the way they shot that, and it made me want to double down on that's what The Last Jedi should have been. It should have left me fucking devastated. Yeah. Everybody's dead. There's no hope. There should be no hope. There's not. Everything we have is here. Everything that we need is right here in this very room. It's amazing.
You're us saying we could overthrow the government, baby. That's exactly what we're saying here.
All of our good friends are right at this table, and we can do it.
Down with Trump. Yeah. We got it.
No, I'm with you on that one. I would rather them be you know what? We are fucked.
Yeah,
we're not coming back.
There
from
should be no and then that spark comes in the next movie. Or maybe you can see the spark forming, but everybody's just feeling real down at the end of the movie. That's what it should have felt like. That's what I think that I think if you edit the movie right, you could make it that way. a little
I guess
bit.
like who
I
are
think
you
that
killing?
leaves a lot of like really confused 7-year-olds. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like how my grandma looked at him like the Fellowship 3 and she's like, "There's what? There's 2 other movies?" Like,
Oh god,
yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, that's what you're feeding into. There's got to be in all of these movies. There's got to be like, there's the stamp. Like it's done. Like that story finished. Okay, there are some stuff that could be going on after that. There's like some seeds for other stories, but nope. There's got to be a seal of approval. Like, all right. Push it out. That's a full story. We did it.
I completely forgot about that theater experience of Lord of the Rings going to credits, and you're like, "What?" Like,
Yeah,
wow, Jesus, that put me back. Okay, sorry.
So anyway, still rewatching that. I saw 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbings, Missouri. That fucking incredible. I think that's my number one almost. But like I would say, right up there with The Shape of Water. You can't really compare them, and that's why I'll say like it's almost my number one. I'm gonna give that 5 out of 5.
Which one has more water?
5 out of 5 goofs.
Yeah. I think that's gonna tip it for me. Maybe, I don't know.
most water.
Yeah, in the movie.
There may be no water actually in Ebbing, Missouri.
That
Really,
actually-
not even like a rain.
There might.
No.
that might be like a
No, there was that lake
a little
scene.
symbolism.
Yeah,
There was a lake
There
scene.
was a lake scene.
that's a lot of water.
Yeah.
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 Is Shape of Water, is it just a tub?
Nah, they got some. They got some
They got some water.
locks.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll have to see the movies to find out.
Yeah.
LOCKE, like a lock.
Oh,
Whenever a
okay.
ship would go through a lock.
If someone's
You
in the
mean
theater,
LOCH?
Is it
Yes, like the Loch Ness
Loch
monster.
Ness.
LOCKE, like that
Yeah.
movie with Tom Hardy? It's where
or
he.
John Locke from Lost, yeah.
This has been spelling second with Cameron. He does it, man. He does it.
If for the audience, if anyone's in the theater and they hear someone in the theater go, "Wow, that's a lot of water," I just want to say I'm sorry. I was just very surprised about the amount of water in Shape of Water. So.
I've been doing this project for my dad. We don't really need to get into that. What we will get into is yesterday I smashed my pinky with a brick against the bobcat. You can kind of see it's purpling up.
Yeah.
We won't show that for the camera, but just to appreciate it was
Too graphic, folks.
it was much more swollen yesterday. When it happened, I said the F word in this pretty nice community very loudly. And I realized something, that this type of injury actually has a specific name. It's called a pinky swear.
Ooh.
Yeah, because you hit your pinky and then you swear real fucking loud. So that's my goof of the day. That's my joke. Lightening up after my devastatingly emotionally bankrupt Band of Brothers talk. I also read The Spill Zone. It's a graphic novel, so it's not an impressive reading feat, but the cover there is...
More pictures than words.
You said you had
definitely
read
more pictures. It's just got some really great artwork, and I know you guys can't see this, but I'm just kind of appreciating it for myself. And I just, it's not often that I crack open a book, unfortunately. Like, I love reading when I do it, but... it takes something pretty special, like, to actually get me to start. So
You steered more towards graphic novels?
No, that's like the first one I read.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the experience. I actually probably have to reread it to look more at the pictures.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like when you're playing like Cuphead, you kind of look right at your character. I'm looking right at the words. I'm not like really paying attention. I don't spend 2 minutes or 5 minutes on each page
Like
dissecting.
breezed through this puppy.
Oh yeah, I read it in about maybe an hour.
Yeah. When you said you had read a graphic novel in the chat, I was picturing like a great illustrated classic. Do y'all remember those books that you'd read the Frankenstein? And one
Picture every 3 pages.
It was
just the
every
whole
page.
thing.
I think it was the whole page.
And you get the end and you're all proud of yourself because it feels thick.
Yeah. You're like, hey, I read this all during one period today. Yeah. Jimmy knows the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You read too many of those.
Yeah.
Those AR points.
Yeah, well, they weren't worth
dude.
jack shit in
I
our
killed
points.
the
They were
AR
not worth
game.
jack shit, but they were, like, you were sitting in elementary school and you had, every class had that, like, that little bookshelf you could go get. They had, like, okay, here's the Boxcar Children, and here's some Goosebumps books, but then they always had, like, a fat-ass stack of those great illustrated classics that you could just, like, thumb through. Here's pictures instead of actually reading words today. Like,
I think that those hurt me more than they helped because by the end of of that period of my life, I thought I was way smarter than I was. I was like, well, look how many thick books I read.
That's
just-
how I felt.
Jimmy, you walk into Jimmy's house as a kid, he's smoking a pipe with like a thing.
Yeah.
He's like, oh sure, let me show you the library.
The classics.
Yeah. It's the great illustrated classics just lining the wall.
No, I might.
You say my Animorphs. Yeah.
I've got every single one, including spin-offs, except for Alternamorphs number 2.
Was it a show or a movie that came out?
That was a show.
It was a TV
not a
show.
movie.
It was
TV show?
garbage.
I remember liking some
Terrible
of it.
CGI.
Really?
Yeah.
I've
Well, I
got
mean, back then.
I've got the first 2 sets of episodes on VHS if we want to have a throwback here.
Maybe.
Hell yeah.
I would just go to the library
I'm
and
gonna
just
duck
flip
out
the
of that
pages and watch them morph.
Yeah.
Because they had like the little, it was like
On the
flip
corner.
book at the very
Yeah.
corner, like this big.
Really?
I was
Damn.
real
I would just
That's
go
an Easter egg.
And it would just go
So
through.
for most of that period, I had read every book, but I was missing numbers 2, 12, and 16, and I finally got them. And Lib was trying to read through the series, and she was on book 2, and she fell asleep on top of it. And
That's like a bit.
How did she read it? Like,
she rolled onto it, and the
Okay.
cover of it, every one of those covers, it has the animal that they change into, and then it has a hole in the cover that goes to a piece of the next person, and you could pull it open, and then it shows the actual animal and its environment or whatever. She just like totally just creased the front cover in half. And-
Paperback, guys.
yeah, and then the other.
He's got hardback editions of all the Animorphs. That's why I'm picturing the library in the pipe.
But
first editions.
there are later versions, and
The original text.
there are 54
The tomes, the
composition of books.
the
they're all
Dead
written.
Sea.
There's like silent monks in like France. Then he turned into a tiger.
That's funny. No, Alex. He's done.
I didn't want to do this mistake on camera.
We already had one.
You just spat on your floor instead.
I managed to keep it down, but
Oh,
that was real good.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the podcast.
So there are 54 books in that series, and I'm sorry that I got on this, but I'm proud of my accomplishment. There are 54 books in that series, and the late versions, like 35 up to 54, were very limited print. So getting them,
That's pretty okay.
when you get them, it's like, this is pristine, and they sold for $8 when you got them, but I had to get them for like $30 a piece. This collection is gold to me. But I got one of them in, and I read them while my mom was tutoring some stupid girl, and she was one of those girls, you know, the late 90s, when everybody wrote really big bubble writing.
Oh my.
Puts her homework on top of my book, because for some reason that was a good idea, while I was in the bathroom. And Bubble wrote on the cover. So, like, of course there's not pen on there, but there is the imprint if you turn it. And I'm just like,
What does it
it's like
say?
some convoluted math equation in bubble writing. And it was awful. And every time I think of my collection, I think of that. And it's, yeah,
It's probably watching
That burns
the
real
podcast.
it hurts. It's salt.
I love to see in 1,000 years when civilization has fallen and Jimmy's library is stumbled upon. There's going to be a Nathan Drake type person who's like he's like a secret. There's a secret message. Bubble writing.
Bubble writing
Yeah,
numbers.
They have like the piece of paper.
yeah, there.
Oh, it's just Mike. Was that?
He's finding for slope. Oh, yeah.
How do we get to Animorphs?
We're talking about.
Oh, the classics.
Oh, yeah,
yeah, that's
talking about
good.
those.
There you
That's
go.
right, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my week. I don't care if I did anything else.
Okay. See, as for me, I finished The Wire, which I'm sure you're all very happy to hear.
Yeah.
Very good series. I highly recommend it.
I'll get on that train next.
Maybe my top show. It's up there.
I remember the final scene. I need to rewatch that one, but I will. Scott, I never saw it.
You're talking about like the very final, like the shot it ends on.
Yeah.
What do you remember about it?
Wait, don't.
It's not a spoiler, right? You're talking about the sky.
Well, that one guy dies, right?
There
I
is
pour
that.
water on
I don't even know. I don't even know what this show is. I know we talked about it like 2 weeks.
Yeah, all I know is she.
I just remember it. That's all.
Okay.
That's all there.
All
There's a
right.
few things. Whatever. I'm not gonna.
I would say the 5th season was a little weird. The 5th and final season.
They were closing everything up.
I enjoy, just the way certain characters go. That make some.
The bald guy? Is that
More like the main
Kinda like John
characters.
Locke?
They sort of do a turn. That defines the whole season, and it is one of those like other characters. You go like, wait a sec, what are you doing? What prompted this? I kind of get why they did it, but I didn't. I don't know if it's my most favorite season, but I still really liked it. Really enjoyed it. Amazing show. Anyone who hasn't seen that old ass show, go watch it. Fantastic.
Yep. Band of Brothers and The Wire. We got you covered
classic
here.
HBO content coming at you, boys?
Yeah.
See, as far as video games, I did finish Transistor.
Good for you.
I hiked up that hill.
And the combat system, you tackled that. I thought that
I
was
really enjoyed it.
really cool how they did that.
So I finished it, and now I'm in the middle of a new game plus.
Oh, you just rolled straight in?
I figure why not? Yeah. Because also I didn't unlock everything. Like I didn't go through all the trial rooms or any of that. So I figured that's a new game plus.
I
thing.
did.
Oh, in your first playthrough you can?
Oh yeah.
Maybe I missed it. I don't know.
Where you're like on the beach or whatever.
Yeah. I
was all over that shit.
The last one I went to, there were still a few left, so I must have missed it in my last playthrough. I will say, difficulty-wise, at the very end, I think it kind of falls apart. The final enemy they sort of show you isn't great.
It's a grasp for me to remember that.
It's called the Man. He kind of walks real slow. He's stealthy.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. We're coming back. I remember a few of the bosses, but
But overall, just because I know most of you haven't played it, it's very good. It didn't hit me as hard as maybe Bastion would have. I think that has a lot to do with maybe the protagonist and maybe how much I can identify with that character. But still, real tight story. The music's fantastic. Art style, great. And the gameplay, not the best thing I've ever played, but it's interesting and different. And I would definitely recommend it to anyone who has 8 to 6 hours. Go play through it and enjoy.
Yeah.
Though, again, I don't think I'd recommend it over Bastion, personally.
Yeah. I don't know how y'all are looking at it, but these first few weeks, I'm looking at my backlog of games. And I'm going to try and crank through them as fast as I can so I can get to the new shit. So we might actually have something that someone who's listening to this in this year may want to hear an interesting opinion on. That's what I'm going for right now. So
Jake and I are going to be getting Dragon Balls, whatever.
Exactly.
All right. So that's
Ball,
our hot content
I
coming.
mean, we already talking about Fortnite, so what more could they want?
So I'm definitely not going to do that. I think I'm going to play, honestly, I'm going to play Transistor probably for the next couple weeks.
I thought you said you were done.
Yeah, I think I'm going to, it's fresh in my mind.
You going to keep going?
I'm kind of writing some stuff on it right now. So I think I think that'll be the first one I do a video on, and we'll see how that goes.
I gotcha. Okay.
So I think I think my backlog is just going to get even bigger at this point, because I think I'm going to focus on a game a month, and hopefully something comes out of that. So Transistor's
cool.
going to be that for this next month.
It's a good one to do it on.
I'm just waiting for Shadow of the Colossus to come out.
Dude.
Yeah, that's going to be fantastic.
Like,
I may make some room for that game.
I'm literally just going to spend one full day off just playing that.
Have you played
Isn't it
Shadow of the
like a
Colossus?
remake
Oh,
of the old one?
PS2, whenever I could be able to-
remaster.
Yeah,
The
remaster
graphics
from
and
the ground
stuff.
up.
Like, mwah.
The way
Now-
when that game first came out, the way the character moves and stuff, like there's a crack, he's
It was
going to
re-
trip over
it
it.
was
Like that is freaking amazing
Yeah.
for that era of
Yeah.
PS2.
Jake, did you have someone who was introducing you to games?
What do you mean?
Like whenever you were that young? Or were
No,
you
like,
just in
Yeah,
game
you're right.
stuff?
Yeah.
But
No.
that's crazy. I didn't have anybody. I was playing fucking
Yeah, I didn't-
NCAA, and I was older than you.
But I mean, my cousin, he had the first introduction to video games I had. My parents got me a Nintendo 64 for my. I think it was from like my 5th Christmas, and they got me Pokemon Battle Stadium,
Hey,
and
that's
then
alright.
played that one. And it was like Pokemon Snap. Fucking love Pokemon Snap. And then they got me Hey You Pikachu. I fucking hate Hey You Pikachu. That stupid
He
ass
can be your friend.
with that stupid ass microphone. I hated that one. And then got the PS2 after that. But really, what really got me into like playing video games, just a wide assortment of them, was going to Blockbuster.
You
And then
rent them?
Yeah, rent them, bring
That's
them
a
back.
different. That's
Blockbuster
a different
for you listeners who don't know.
For you millennials,
It's true.
It was great.
Are we past millennials at this point?
I thought we were millennial.
No,
Yeah,
it's
we-
actually
era.
like,
I'm a millennial.
millennials are between
I'm a millennial.
18 to 35.
Me too.
I was reading an article.
That's not okay. It's a bad
Hashtag-
joke.
Wait, well, hold on. Right before we shift gears here, and I know this might not pertain to anybody, but you mentioning all those Pokemon games. Do you
Yes.
still play the Pokemon games at all?
Yes, of course.
Did you hear that Detective Pikachu
Yes,
has an
have you-
American translation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see the Danny
The
DeVito-esque dude that's
Yeah.
voicing him? He's like, dude, it's bad.
It looks great. Have you guys seen anything about it?
It's already yeah.
Yeah, they're making they've already said that they're gonna make a live action adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it's
what I
Ryan
heard.
Reynolds, right?
With I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Ryan Reynolds got it.
Is he voicing Pikachu?
I think so, yeah.
Mm.
This shit's so weird, man.
Yeah, it's
They've done
weird
some
as fuck.
things to Pikachu over in Japan.
Yeah.
And now it's coming our way.
Well, because everybody, years, I don't even know how long ago they came out with the Japan edition, but basically they were just like, they're never going to do an American edition, and they specifically said that, but they were like, anybody who knows Japanese or is able to understand this, do it, because it's like a gem of the Pokemon universe.
In a good way or the worst way?
Yeah, a good way. Like, it's supposed to be really good, even though it takes a whole different spin on what we've known of Pokemon. Like, the dude, he's like a talking...
It's like
smart
gruff
Pikachu.
detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Who he can't smoke or
With like a
drink,
Brooklyn accent.
but he loves coffee, so that's his gruff detective sort of thing. He
Yeah.
drinks a lot of coffee.
And it's just funny because there's a lot of just silly dialogue and stuff in just the trailer. So I'm really excited to play it. But yeah, I don't know. That's an upcoming game I'm excited about. But yeah.
What does it focus on? Like,
It's
who else is there? Is it just Pikachu? Is like
Pikachu and a boy. Like
Yeah, it's a
I don't know
trainer.
what they're. I don't
it's
know
kind
what
of
they're.
like Ash.
And the boy just says his name over and over.
Yeah,
again.
like I don't.
Pikachu.
No, but I don't. I mean, they haven't really given a plot. Like the trailers, they're just detectives. They solve like petty crimes. It's like LA Noire, but with Pikachu.
You replace Scooby Doo with a fictional mouse.
I think that your
Yellow
character
Mouse.
is actually the second guy, so I would assume just like the trainer role in any of the
Yeah.
games, it's like gender swapper.
Yeah.
And then it's
This
just,
is playable?
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought this was a movie.
No, it's a game.
No,
It's
it's,
both.
a game.
Yeah.
for the
Oh.
It's a
3DS.
game that is getting a movie adaptation.
Okay.
Which
I
I'm
think
kind of
Ryan
annoyed
Reynolds.
because honestly, I don't have a 3DS, but I have a Switch. So I don't know why I don't know why they wouldn't make a Switch version of the game.
You want to borrow my 3DS?
Sure.
It just collects dust, man. So you can borrow
I
it.
got a 2DS in a thing.
Ooh,
right
a
now.
2DS.
Yeah, we're rolling it.
yeah.
I got one too.
But other than Transistor, not much on the game front. I have been reading very slowly, unfortunately, but I've been reading Jacked, the outlaw story of the creators of Grand Theft Auto. And it's made by, or written by David Kushner, who wrote a book that maybe you guys aren't super familiar with, but he wrote a biography on the guys who created Doom that I really liked, like a good 10, 20 years ago. So I hopped on this. Very interesting story. It takes me back to when I was younger, like 11, 12-year-old Kyle who hated a guy named Jack Thompson at the time. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him.
No.
Famous Florida lawyer who led a campaign against video games, basically. He got people like Joseph Lieberman to spearhead anti-video games. Hillary Clinton was against video games for a long time, which I was curious why that wasn't mentioned more during her race. Like, she was not cool on video games at all, and I figured maybe that would have been a thing, but I guess not.
GTA started Columbine people.
Yeah, GTA, yeah, the hot coffee mod, like Hillary was all over that stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, a very interesting book. If you're interested in kind of following these ragtag group of Scottish developers and how they try to push the medium in a lot of weird, sometimes really immature ways, I think it's definitely worth a read. The writing is a little hokey because the author attempts to bring you back into the time and into the very like 90s, early 2000s marketing around Grand Theft Auto, and he sort of models his writing after that. So there's definitely some sort of cringeworthy prose.
Waza. Is that how you
I wish. I wish. I would have appreciated that. So you have to look over that, but I think overall it's a very good book. I probably have 50 pages left, but I do recommend it. That is Jacked, the Outlaw Story of Grand Theft Auto by David Kushner. Highly recommend.
Mouthful.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, you get just Jacked, I guess, but you really need the Grand Theft Auto part in there. But good book to read, about just under 300 or so pages, so recommend that. Other than that, not much. I will say, on my way over here, actually, I was at the
211 big ones.
oh yeah, the big books, yeah, the big words.
Yeah, I was talking about his. He said 211 pages here, baby.
Yeah.
Mostly pictures.
I
Alex brought this in like a show and tell. Like,
let Let me show you something.
I should have brought my book, damn it.
I'm gonna find the hardest word I can within that couple
Squeakiest chair.
Let's see.
40.
The longest word on that page is photographers.
Hey, that's a good one.
Let's see.
Someone.
Oh, there's a algorithm there.
There you go.
Discombobulated.
There you go.
If anybody wants to read any graphic novels, I have a stack like this high of them that are collecting
Ooh,
dust.
There
that's
you go.
just about my speed.
For your cup of tea.
Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. We just had some technical difficulties, but it came at a good time, though, because we're now going to try and go over a few news items that happened within the last week. This will be a little bit more formal than what we usually do, so we're going to give it a shot. If it doesn't work, we'll try something different.
Email us.
Yeah, email us. Does this work or not?
And then we'll talk shit about your email next week.
Yeah.
That's right.
This fucker emailed us.
better be spelled right.
But
Don't tell them.
yeah, running down the news, the first item I have is BioWare's Anthem delayed as studio doubles down on
No
make or break
fucking
time.
way. When did that come out?
Just yesterday or today, actually.
I had not heard
Yeah,
about
a couple
that.
hours ago.
And
So
why did they do it? They doubled down on what?
on a make or break title. That's a title. This is an article from Polygon.
How long did they decide it delayed? I hadn't heard a release date to begin with.
So let me pull it up.
That shit looked so fucking fake at E3 that
Yeah, absolutely did.
they had no playable demo.
What was it?
Anthem, the new BioWare game.
Mech suits.
Yeah.
They go underwater. They go
If you saw E3, you probably remember.
No, I don't think
you
I
may
saw
have missed that bit.
It says it's now coming in 2019.
Wow.
I like that it's a make or break title. That doesn't let me, worry about BioWare's existence at all. Maybe
But
10 years was a bit too kind.
Doubles down.
Like this may not actually, save them.
It's almost like
Their
EA is already
financial woes.
preparing for it. They're like, hey, you're next. Good luck. Make a good game.
I remember when it first came out, everybody on Reddit was like, do not pre-order this game.
Yeah,
It will fuck you over.
And it doesn't. Yeah, that was one of the more obvious games where I was like, this
This
isn't
is
a
CG.
game.
Yeah.
That ain't
No,
real.
this is
not
not
real.
Nobody's flying through there like that. That shit, you'd be bumping into the fucking sides.
I hate that. And then on the bottom it's like, actual in-game video. I'm like, that shit's, the in-game cinematic opening.
Well, it's not even in game anymore. It's in engine. It's like,
In engine, yes.
okay,
Right.
sure, why not?
Yeah.
I've seen what Unreal does. It's not a game
Well,
though.
as far as that's concerned, it's not like I was chomping at the bit for that. I have plenty of other games to play. Hell yeah, make a good game. Take however long you fucking need to.
I hope that's what the tale turns out being. I feel like that's not what it's going to be, but maybe.
The fact that they were pretending in 2017 that game was like it's almost done, boys. And they're like, wait, hold on, 2019. Like, okay, we're gonna delay this puppy a year. Like that says a lot about that game. I'm sure they got to a point where they're like, yeah, if we release this, they're gonna know we were lying. This is gonna be the next Colonial
They're gonna
Marines
hate
for
it.
sure. Like,
Or just the last game we did. I mean, that's what I feel like. I'm not sure whether to feel good or bad about it because they did release Mass Effect early just for quarterly financials.
Yeah.
Like it came out right before the end of the fiscal year.
Yeah.
So it leads me to believe EA doesn't super care about this studio at all. It's just, hey, we need this game now. And you've done it before with Dragon Age 2, get it out.
Okay.
So delaying this one, I don't know what that means. Maybe it is that bad or that early in pre-production. But yeah, that's that.
I hate the waiting period, but I think if it pans out, like for anything, waiting is hard. But if it pans out in the end, I think it's worth it.
I feel like it's never been easier to wait. At least at my age. There's so much shit already. Back when I was a kid.
I would say it's hard to wait
Yeah.
for things I'm passionate about. But other than that, like
I can't name
I don't really care about the game.
There's not a game right now that I'm like, oh yeah.
Like I would say,
I'm so
I would feel
stoked for
pretty
that.
bad, or I would be a little bit upset if
Shadow of Colossus.
I was gonna say
don't feel
Red
bad,
Dead Redemption 2. I really am looking forward to that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I have an interesting
I
past with
love
Red Dead
those
Redemption.
games.
That was a game that I was so in love with that I was going to 1,000 point. I was going to get all the achievements. I was going to get that game a 100%. So I spent 1,000,000 hours in the first area. Like if I recall, you have like 3 areas, right? You start up here, you move down here, and then you go to
and then go up to like Canada.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Well, I did everything. There was nothing that could be done in Texas or wherever you start, and I had moved down to Mexico. And then my dad he was like cleaning out space on the hard drive. This is back whenever the 360s came with like a 26 gig hard, whatever it was, 32 gig hard drive. So he was cleaning out space for some very important, achievement only game.
Viva
Like,
Pinata.
yeah, it was Viva Pinata. It was King Kong, the launch title for
Peter
Xbox.
Jackson's.
He was clear so he could get those like 5 super ass easy 200-point achievements. So I don't remember why he was doing it, but he deleted my fucking save state for that game, and I've not been back to it since.
Shout out Ryan.
Yeah, I think I was at like 52% like total game completion, and I had only just like started in Mexico. So
Do you
it
remember
kind of
that?
gives you.
You remember the ride into Mexico, like that, like cutscene?
I blocked out all memory.
At the beginning, or like,
Yeah, like when you first go into Mexico,
And then
they
you
have
get
like
shot.
that. Yeah, they have like the actual like they brought in. I don't know how you say it, but they bought a song to like play in that particular part or whatever.
Okay.
license.
Like
Yeah,
a mod
yeah.
song,
They
yeah.
license the song to play in that scene.
Are you coming into a town?
It's just the ride into Mexico.
It's
Like,
that one where he goes to like where the main antagonist is like, I think his name's Bill. I think it was Bill something, I don't know. And then he's like,
I think that's completely wrong.
and he gets shot in the chest or something like that.
At some point, doesn't he get like not tutored by like an old man?
How to shoot.
Yeah,
It's a dead shot, or
maybe
whatever it's
it's
called.
a-
Dead shot.
I'm remembering some shit like that.
Yeah, I
Probably
think we
have
might
it
all
way
be talking
different.
about. Well, I don't know.
Different parts of the game.
It's been a while, but I am looking forward to that game. So that's what I would be disappointed if
Yeah,
that
yep.
got pushed back to 20.
Think-
Now,
If-
before you go on to the next subject, is
Mhm.
there anything on this about Detroit
No,
being human? Did anybody hear about that?
I saw news articles. I
About the
didn't read it,
business
though.
that went down out there.
Yeah. Like, okay, I mean,
Yeah.
not like the game being human that's coming
Yeah.
out. Like,
Yeah.
you
About what
guys-
happened with the studio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how they're under fire because like the people that are running
Yeah.
everything are like sexually harassing all their employees and they're getting not paid and like there's like people like all the staff members are getting
It
photoshopped
was
and, like
it was a treasure trove of 600
like
plus pictures
yeah,
of
like
just
every staff member in like
incredibly
doggy style,
lewd
like,
positions.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a rough one. Is David Cage?
I don't give a
in it?
fuck. I love David
I don't-
Cage.
yeah,
I don't give
I'm
a
not
fuck.
sure.
They can do whatever they want.
But I don't know if this is gonna push that game back because I was actually kind of.
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't know.
That sounds like human
They're
resources.
based out of
Yeah,
France,
I
right?
don't know.
France don't give a shit.
Yeah, and they're like, eh.
They're
Oui, oui.
their president's out here like openly fucking other people, and they're like, "Fuck it, he's doing a good job." Like that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like let David Cage go, baby. Let my people go. Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that to light because I saw that earlier today and I was like, wow, that seems like something to talk about tonight.
Yeah, it was. I had seen that. I
I'm
would,
kinda-
I
I'm
would
looking
love to
forward
get
to
eyes
it.
on some of those images. I just want to see what
Yeah.
kind of detail this dude went into it. But I heard how the story broke was they IT guy found the trove,
Yeah.
and it was a picture. It was him, and he's like, "Fuck it!" Like it's getting uploaded now. It's.
I once had a IT guy fired at a previous company because he was using company servers to store his porn.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I got-
Store. Just store it.
He needed the space.
His porn or
Net
his porn that he
neutrality.
downloaded?
Oh, his porn. What? When he downloaded
personal?
his porn?
Well, I mean, did he
No, I
make
mean,
his
like, if it was
personal
his-
porn?
Oh
His
no!
porn.
This was bought or downloaded porn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was it incest? Because that seems to be the
I
the
didn't-
rave.
You know what? They didn't get
nowadays.
into that, and they
It's probably
tried
like a 90%
Kyle,
chance.
Kyle had to review all the
Yeah.
files.
Yeah, it's porn.
He's like
It's definitely
every single
porn.
one was incest.
You gotta
Or
check
furries.
sheet.
Yeah.
Porn, not porn. You're like porn, not porn.
Star pretty good.
Porn question mark.
Could be porn.
On the side, you're like, I gotta save that for later.
He's got the Earl HTTP dead
Hey,
calling.
get him back! Get him.
I have questions.
He was onto something. He was-
We have to go back. We have to check it out.
yeah.
You made it undeletable.
Yeah, porn in the workplace. That's a good time.
Yeah,
That's
interesting.
a
Sticky subject.
Jimmy, didn't you tell me that you had a guy at one of your places that?
Now you're thinking of Jimmy.
Oh yeah, Jimmy, didn't you tell me that you got caught looking at porn?
Yeah, something about being close to a school, something like that.
Ooh.
No.
No.
None of that's true. No, a previous job, we had a guy in the office
Oh yeah.
who several people had walked in before, and he would very quickly turn the monitor. Put down something. And we had an IT guy come in every once in a while who was he was a real great guy, but he was not very candid. And he was definitely pointing out the direct reasons why we had viruses on that computer. It was an exciting time. But, you know.
It's great having to deal with that stuff in a workplace where you can't be like the real you.
Yeah.
You have to be cordial to things that. Like,
Don't do that. Like,
Porn is bad.
I can't believe you would do that. Like, I don't know. It's just silly.
The way you touch yourself is atrocious. I would just claim to have installed hidden cameras in the entire place.
But on the inside, you're like, you know what? You're a human. We all do it.
Just not at work, my man.
I don't turn.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Sure,
at work,
sure,
man.
no,
Sorry. We all do it. You're the produce guy in public. It's like, what
That's
the fuck
true.
are you saying? You see grapefruits
touching my
with-
apples over here.
grapefruits with the holes cut out.
We're gonna have to cut that whole thing out right there.
Say that
George
no,
Jenkins go see that. That's gonna be bad news.
Oh, fuck George. I mean, Mr.
Whoa!
George.
Oh no! Sacrilegious!
You're God.
Mr. George. Dude, that is... I'm off the record here. Hey, don't fire me, guys.
Off the record,
Off
on
the record.
on
Off the
camera.
I said off the record. So you
Legally,
can't
you're
use some
obligated.
court.
No offense.
You can't fire him. Are you a cop?
Yeah, sure. I think that whole company is a cult because every person comes up to me and says, that's not how Mr. George would do it. That dude has been dead for over 20 years. Stop calling him Mr. George. It's George Jenkins.
If
He's
he ever
not
says
still
that
here.
again, just like lay down on the ground.
George,
This is what he would
Mr.
do.
George did not have Instagram. He did not have Pornhub.
He was not
That man did not
cool.
know what I've been going through, son.
Have you
heard
thought
that
about
saying.
channeling his spirit? Like when someone like that's not what he would say. Well, let me check.
You're just like eyes are on the back.
Oh my god, I love that. The idea, Jake the medium, just
It's like here, hold my hands.
So that's a common saying
George
nowadays
Huh?
at the local Publix.
Mr. George, yeah.
I've only heard that once.
No,
And I've responded to it.
For real, Mr. George? Like, or are you saying like that's not?
I've only heard it like that's not how George would do it. I've heard that once.
They always say that. Like if I'm like putting fucking bananas up on the shelf too hard, they come up. So Mr. George would do that. I'm like,
And this is like customers and stuff.
no, like
Oh.
like the people that work there, like the managers. I'm like, Mr. George wouldn't touch a fucking banana because he was a goddamn millionaire. You know, like he wouldn't be like, here, let me just put this banana on the shelf. No, he'd be like, hey, go put that banana on the shelf, motherfucker. I'm paying you for that shit.
Yeah. What if it's like one of those things like everybody you think better of someone after they pass away? What
oh
if,
sure.
What if like
yeah.
Mr. George would have been in there like using like is pretending it's a dick like probably like molesting the female employees?
Guaranteed. It was a
Oh,
different,
yeah.
it was a different time and place.
Yeah.
It was a
Women shouldn't vote. Like, oh, George. God damn it.
silly George.
But we'll make our aisles
Down with the
wide.
suffragists.
All right. Next.
I love public.
All our friends from the
To be-
West Coast are like,
I
what
think
the
this is
fuck
a
a
moment where we
George?
say,
Sponsor us.
yeah, you can't sponsor us. We will take back what we said about Mr. George.
He was a great guy.
But if you don't sponsor,
We're
us-
holding your reputation hostage.
Our millions
I worked
of
there.
maybe
It sucks.
viewers.
Well, speaking of retail stores, Toys R Us will be set to close 180 stores.
Not ours though.
Alright.
Not ours.
Apparently not. Apparently the store in general was going bankrupt, but
Yeah.
apparently ours is priming for a new age. It just had a renovation like 6
it
months
just got
back.
So somehow they're going to find a way to compete with Amazon.
Does it
Yeah.
actually look nice?
Yeah,
It does,
On the
yeah.
inside, yeah.
it looks good.
Because Toys R Us and Chuck E. Cheese are the two franchises from when I was a kid.
You're just
That
like,
was
why are they still here?
No, not even that. They were amazing, like real fun times as a kid. And then as I got older, maybe this is just me getting older and smarter, but they just look run down.
Well, Chuck E.
It's
Cheese
sad.
got a definite uplift. It's like cartoon mouse. Like now it's a CGI mouse, and it's not fucking terrifying. It's not like
Check with the animatronics.
yeah, like
After,
like
Five
the-
Nights at Freddy's
Yes,
came out.
exactly.
I feel
They're
like
like, we gotta make these guys look nice.
They
so
had to
that
burn
children
that
work-
shit.
Yes.
I think they should go a totally different direction.
Just
I'm-
rip the skin
Oh,
off
yeah.
his
Yeah,
face.
I'm hoping they still
Lean
have
into
those
it.
in a closet somewhere so they can bring it out as Plan B. Like that's it's just like, all right, Five Nights at Freddy,
Five Nights at Chucky's.
I
yeah,
used to have a buddy that worked at Chuck E. Cheese's, and
Oh,
he
me
was like,
too.
and one time he forgot to put the nose on the mouse, so like you could see his face in the nose. so like he was walking through, and like one of the kids, he was walking through, he was like this, and one of the kids was like, "There's a white man in there." He's like, "Shit!" And he went to the back, and they're like, yeah, you're not being Chucky anymore." He's
Chucky's
like, "Oh darn, I missed out on that one."
God,
Did a token duty for a month.
That's so funny.
Did you see that there was a guy who at Disney? Now I don't know if this was just one of those Facebook picture things and it was out of context, but there was apparently a news article with it. It was a new hire for the mascot thing or whatever, he was wearing the Winnie the Pooh outfit, but he put the pants on backwards, so the tail was hanging right between his legs. He was fired that day.
Flash joke.
But they have
He did it on purpose? No way.
I don't know.
Winnie the Pooh hanging dong.
Yeah, I'll never notice.
He's got a set of truck nuts hanging off it.
Yeah.
That's why he got stuck in the tree.
Oh, bother.
Oh,
Don't bother. Weenie the Pooh.
Yeah, his head is outside the tree, by the way.
Weenie the Pooh is a much better joke than we all just made. I mean,
Yeah.
I should have known that was the best joke in there. We did not laugh hard enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually just took a mental note of it. I was like, that was really good.
We'll laugh later.
Well, other than that, I don't know how to segue into this, but Nintendo held a recent Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
It seemed some people wanted to talk about maybe their new Labo,
Fucking bullshit.
which is really bullshit.
I'm interested.
What does this mean? What is Labo?
It's the cardboard.
Yeah, yeah.
If you have to fucking explain it by saying it's the cardboard, it's fucking ridiculous.
If you said
That's not how
wait,
Mr.
no.
George would have done it.
if you said it's the $70 cardboard, then it becomes absurd.
Yes.
I am
Okay.
interested in it at a lower price.
Yeah, okay, so, like, I know it said that there's a cardboard kit that's $70. Are they saying, like, the robot?
The robot is a separate $80 purchase.
Holy fuck! But then the
That is a
$70 one.
It includes the piano and the
okay.
house.
Maybe it will inspire home crafts. Just
it's like
put out
Nintendo.
your own cardboard instead.
Yeah, it's
of
just
this.
cool how they make it in
It's Nintendo DIY at this point.
Well, I view it as like the monthly sort of like science boxes,
Yeah.
but Nintendo.
Yeah.
And those things are already fucking
If they
expensive.
output the things they
Like the
showed,
maker
I'm
code.
wondering like, how the fuck do you turn two Joy-Cons into a goddamn piano? I need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like,
I want to see that.
or like
I
how
don't want to pay $70 for it.
I mean, I'm interested on it, honestly, but like you said, I'm not going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Like, unless, like, I see some, like, unless it's someone actually playing it and
Pornhub
not...
puts out their own
Yes.
content. Ooh.
Yeah. I
Fucking
refuse.
cardboard.
There's no way that someone
That's
does
not gonna last long.
Take a fleshlight out of cardboard.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
That's inevitably where the market's going.
Nintendo sees all these VR headsets, like, man, we gotta get in the porn game, boys. Yeah, it's like,
I thought it was neat. I don't think I'm ever going to use it because I don't think it's for me.
I would love to do it. I would love to try it. I really just the idea. I like, growing up, you love Legos. I love Kinects. I even as I was like in college, I got a big Kinect roller coaster and joined a bunch of them together and turned it into this really cool thing that I thought was cool. I had fun doing it. Like this, just kind of it kind of feeds into that childlike
Wonder.
the curiosity. Like, what can I do? How does this work? It's amazing that they're gonna
It looks-
inspire a bunch of kids
It looks
that age.
nice, but, like, the way that it was like, oh yeah, you gotta fold it, and then like
Yeah.
it looks really convoluted. There's no
it
way
does
a
look
kid
complicated.
There's
That's
no
why
way a kid's not gonna do it by
without
himself.
ripping the fucking cardboard.
Yeah, exactly. And what you pay $70 for this cardboard, and then you try to
Got
fold it
half
one
a
way,
piano.
and then you're like, you get pissed off, and then you rip it, and you're like,
Well, you
fuck,
think,
I'm gonna
like,
go buy $70 worth of
even
another
after
cardboard.
putting it together once, it's like, will it last a week,
Yeah,
or will you
exactly.
even ever come
In a
back
kid's
to it?
hands, no way.
No.
Yeah.
Can you store it anywhere? No. I mean,
Because
And that's
cardboard is not, it's not
The
Yeah, it is
original
sturdy
point,
press.
it's
like
bullshit.
sturdy.
And I think that for me, aside from not wanting to fold it, like that shit looks awful. Like I'm imagining myself with a kid right now having to fold this shit. I also I can't get over the auditory bit of it where like in the video it looks all nice. They're pressing the little keyboard. I'm just picturing like little scrapes like.
Yeah.
Because there's no way the cardboard is moving smoothly.
Because
it's
like
not-
in the video, it looks like it's just going down perfectly smoothly, like
Yeah,
it's
like it's a
butter, but
piano.
There's no way that's gonna
What's
happen.
funny, like your nightmare scenario is like the scenario I think
is
of
the
that's
dream
good for it. Yeah,
That's the dream
Like,
scenario.
you're like you come home like, hey son, I got this cool Labo thing. Yeah.
fucking shit out.
But nowadays, kids will be like, "Shut the fuck up, Dad." He got his iPhone.
Watch a
Hey,
porno.
well, you got a lot bigger problems than the Nintendo Labo. You got to work on some other shit, but like,
I mean, that's pretty much everyone that comes in the public. Just saying, fucking kids.
sponsor us quick.
Before we take this too far. No.
Yeah.
I think there's a market for it, but yeah, again, for me, the only way I could see enjoying it myself would be through the eyes of
Yeah.
someone younger.
For me, it harkens back to that whole Nintendo cash grab. Like they got a good console going on. Bunch of units sold this year.
Yeah.
And now they're like
Fastest selling console.
Officially, yeah. So they got the fastest selling console. Like, okay, well, people are probably gonna buy this shit. Let's try her out.
It was the number one console sold for Christmas.
Oh, Nintendo Switch? Yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah.
It was definitely.
Can you repurpose if you have a box in here? Can you just fold up your own shit?
It probably has almost like a QR code style crap
is
on
there,
it.
yeah, is there?
I wonder where they get the games. That's the big question: is are the games free to download online?
Oh my god! It's
No
like
fucking way.
$20.
Not a Nintendo
You pay
product.
$70 for this cardboard box, and they're like, if you want to unlock the next game, pay $15 for the fishing simulator. You're like, God damn it!
I do think they do that. I do think they come out like, hey, you can use this cardboard box also for this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's
It's
definitely a
like
thing.
Dark Souls, Labo version.
It's like just
fuck.
roll through and all your cardboard in the roll.
The name sucks. What does it stand for? Does it stand for something?
No, it's just Labo.
Are you sure? Does it stand for anything?
No, it's no anagram.
Nintendo,
Or is
you
it
don't stand
acronym?
for anything.
Acronym, sorry.
Fuck you.
Anagram is when the words back to front.
Okay.
See, Labo.
That's the laziest name. If it doesn't stand for anything,
Nintendo
Maybe
Labo.
maybe they were just going with it definitely stands for something.
They're still getting money from
Don't know what
me.
it is
It
yet.
sounds
Buying
like a
the
white
N64
it sounds like
stuff. Down at the place down. I guess that's third market anyway.
Yeah, third party.
Third party.
Game-matic.
No,
Yeah, I got
never. No, they're right down the street. There's a what is it called?
I don't remember. It's right up here in the Publix parking
It's
lot.
called,
What is it?
like-
I'm convinced that they are a front for drugs.
For sure.
There's no fucking way.
Game-matic is, but at least this place is successful enough to have reasonable prices.
Who's a front for drugs?
The
There's
game
down
store.
here.
It's a retro
On
game
Shepherd
store.
Road, there's a retro game store.
In the Publix,
right here in the
thing
fucking
over there.
Publix. Who is going there?
Mr. George.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah, but it has like a $5 you're a member now thing and everything in. They have freaking Smash Bros for the N64 for like $50 in there, and I have never seen it below like 80. Their prices are very good. So
It's
Check it out.
unreasonable. They've got to be selling drugs. They just have
If
to.
they can give me like an original copy of Metal Gear Solid, more power to you. Keep the method
They don't
flowing.
even have new games. All they have is they have
Yeah.
Sega Genesis
ain't-
up
it
to.
ain't
Well, that's what I mean,
Yeah.
like PS1 games.
Yeah.
Final
It's
Fantasy VII.
all old stuff. That's
They've got everything. I haven't gone in there and found a game that I like. Last week I got Star Fox for like $14. I was like, yeah. Like,
For N64?
yeah, and I got the splitter to change my RCA into HDMI there as well.
Oh, cool.
So like they got some good stuff. They definitely
Are they
definitely
nice
stocked.
there?
Yeah.
Even though they're front?
I've met two people there. The one was like an old dude that was like just talking a little too much. I was like,
So
okay,
you
I
got a lot
gotta
of
get out the
energy.
door.
Nobody comes in there.
Really clean store. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other guy was this younger guy, which was my first impression of
Yeah,
like
me too. I was there.
drug front. Yeah.
He was with his girlfriend at the time.
She ended up walking in, and
He kept
yeah,
calling you
They were
John.
kind of all over each other.
Looking for a date, honey?
we want the special member package. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to go there.
You want to show me your light gun?
Game-matic.
So she just keeps using awful references for dick.
Yeah.
It's just,
Like
Joystick.
Game-matic are
you
assholes.
could put it in my GameCube.
Close it down. We're the rival drug gang. Stop it.
Yeah.
They're doing puns. Filth.
Okay, good. I think we beat Labo into the ground.
Yeah. Next up is PlayStation is now launching their own figure set. So like Amiibo, but there will be no.
It's not even like Amiibo.
It's not like
It's
Amiibo.
like it's as much like HeroClix
Do you have
as
a
it is
list?
Amiibo.
Do you have a list of all the characters that are
Like-
going to be available at launch? 7
Yeah.
or 8. I think it's
It's
7.
7 or
They've got
8.
like Crash. They're going to have the
Crash.
Bloodborne guy.
Fucking on a
I was gonna say like, but it also except it doesn't work with games.
Yeah.
Like is a
like
simile.
Amiibos,
I didn't
except
say-
Amiibos
not
are better.
Amiibos. I'm not saying better. They obviously have just
I
fallen.
exist. I like these because I love the idea I can get a little Crash.
Yeah, you can like
mini.
collect. You know?
But I do think they should have some way of interacting with, like,
Yeah.
hey, I downloaded a theme because I
Yeah.
had a code.
Yeah,
Whatever
Yeah,
it is.
it
Yeah.
would be fine.
A theme.
I feel like
That's
they might
Avatar
even
theme something.
It's going to be in
have
a
that as a
year
code.
when they realize they should have have done that. They're going to re-release it. You're going to have to re-buy it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's kind of like
Except
the wands for Harry Potter World.
It's made out of cardboard now.
Yeah.
Instead, it's,
You got to
You wanna
funnel
get
up.
it
yeah, I had to make my own fucking crash.
Give us a rundown.
All right, so they're gonna have Heihachi from Tekken. They're gonna have the Bloodborne guy. I don't know
Yeah, boy,
his name.
I would get that.
Bill.
The actual figure for that is a lot of money.
It looks real good. Also, this like little for what $12 or whatever
Yeah.
it's gonna be. It looks good. You got Crash from Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. Kratos from the new God of War.
Ooh.
That
He
could be
looks
cool.
a little.
Looks all right. Looks the best.
I mean, it's $12, right?
Yeah.
So who cares?
Yeah,
They got I forget his name, but the mascot
Little Big
from
Planet.
Little Big Planet.
Sackboy.
Parappa the Rapper,
Ooh.
and maybe the most confusing, the car from Wipeout.
Yeah, I
That one doesn't. I even like Wipeout.
Is that all they got? Like 5 of them in there?
You could
it's like 7 or 8 for the
Yeah.
You
initial
could have thrown
release.
like Jack and Daxter. or
Also, they'll be
Ratchet and
$10.
Clank.
Not 12.
Yeah, you're right. They
You
had
could have thrown someone like
a lot of those console mascots that
Yeah.
they had for years. That
or Nathan Drake.
I'm sure they'll do it if this takes off.
But what the
Yeah.
fuck is Parappa doing in there? Dude?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I'm
Parappa? Parappa's definitely. I think he belongs.
I didn't play him when I was young.
But like,
I did watch some shit from recently. It doesn't look like a good time.
What
yeah, but
is
he's part of
Parappa?
the legacy.
could've-
PS1.
What's he from?
What's that?
Parappa
Star
the
Wars
Rapper?
game, I think?
Parappa,
It was just like
a
a-
PS1
yeah,
game.
it's like a
you
music-
rap. It was kind of like I don't know. It was
The-
kind of like
the
Rock
tabletop
Band
Star
or
Wars
Guitar
game,
Hero,
you
but
move
with
pieces.
words.
Okay.
X-Wing.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that figure for X-Wing.
There you go. Yeah.
it's like, that's not even an X-wing. Shut the fuck up.
Talking about the miniature game.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what they're doing. I think it's interesting. I'm glad they're doing it. It'd be cool to have
And how
something.
much are they? Like
$10, $9.99.
That's not bad.
That's
I mean,
not bad at all.
compared to like the amiibos, they're like I don't even
Like
know.
$15.
Yeah,
For like 8 to 15.
When you
yeah.
have to rebuy it for $30 in a year, you're real pissed.
I'd be down for it, especially if they really expand the lineup. Like, I would love some Bio. I know Bioshock probably won't. Well, maybe. Because that's not exactly exclusive. But if you
They
get
just
some
have
more.
so many great characters that
Oh,
can
yeah.
fit onto one of those little.
Ratchet and Clank.
Like, okay, yeah, like Jack and Daxter. You know, Jack and then Daxter could be on his shoulder. Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet would clank in his back.
Yeah, you've got Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn.
You
You've
got
got
Joel,
Uncharted.
Ellie.
You could put the Joel Ellie. You got the entire Uncharted cast. They've got 1 million people in that universe apparently now. So I don't know. It just seems like they could have had a much better lineup
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, Last of Us. They can do. And they can do more expensive ones,
Yeah.
too. Like ones that look a little bit nicer. Like
Bigger ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because these things are only going to be like that tall, right?
Like they could do
Yeah.
a Shadow
Yeah,
of the Colossus, but it's like a little bit up here
it's
for,
like-
for guys like you. I don't know. I feel like they kind of
Yeah, I don't know what that was at.
it was premature here. Like, why only
You
release
mean
8? Like
people.
that seems skimpy.
I think it's fine.
Maybe they're testing the waters.
cheaper than my.
I just don't think there's any
statues.
stakes to it. So announcing early, if they're gonna sell, they're gonna sell.
Yeah, and PlayStation's not a company that I see taking a whole lot of risks. Like they're not out
Nah,
here doing cardboard shit. They're just like, hey, we're making games.
Yeah,
That
we're
shit
making-
is working.
Shit is good.
That shit is working. Don't
Yeah,
fuck with it.
We're making
No weird
consoles
shit.
that match with TVs.
we took risks last time. There was a baby crying. It was weird. No one bought
What
it.
happened?
You don't
Oh
remember
yeah,
PS3
PlayStation 3
release?
commercial.
Oh my
What?
god, dude.
PS3 had like a weird ad campaign when it first launched. So there was like one, like it centered on a PlayStation being in an all white room, and at the end of each ad, it would float in the air. But surrounding the PlayStation would be very different things. So you'd get like a weird baby doll that's like crying, making weird noises, turning its head.
It was
weird.
creepy as shit.
And then
when I
the
was a kid.
PlayStation would float, and then PlayStation. It's like, I guess I'll buy that. I don't know. What do you
Will my house become haunted?
Yeah.
Like,
And most people were like, I guess I won't buy that.
Yeah. Also, $600.
And we did.
well, I mean, they are going a
that
different
was
direction,
my
though.
only Christmas present. The year that it came out, that's the only Christmas present I got.
That's
good.
No games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
My parents rented me one game from Blockbuster.
Blockbuster.
rented
Yes.
it.
I like that. I rented Movie Gallery when I was a
But
kid.
like
Me
it
too.
was, like the big decent one, the 4. It was backwards compatible.
Yeah.
You could play PS2 and PS1 games, and it had the 4 USB slots. Then they're like,
You
this
got it
thing kept-
that first year?
The first year,
What
yeah.
the fuck?
It was
and then
20 and 60
everybody was like, oh yeah, mine's catching on fire, or like it stopped working, it died, and then they came out with a new one that wasn't backwards compatible. So like the one that's backwards compatible, everybody's freaking out for.
What happened to yours?
No, it lived. It lived. Its,
You have it? I'm asking.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, they have decent resale
That's cool.
value in those ones. Yeah. This is decent. Hold on to that.
It's like a little
Sony,
scuffed up on the top because there was this easy scratching plastic material.
Isn't that the one where the lid popped up?
Yeah, where you could like put the memory storage was like right there.
Yeah.
You can put SD card in there.
You said Sony was doing something
Oh,
different.
we were talking about these shoes, right?
Oh, the shoes.
yeah.
I guess I didn't put that in there, but we can't.
Getting into something
My
new.
boy Paul
We
George.
got our matching PG2s.
Yeah.
The entire cast is responsible for having those as soon as they are released.
That's right.
I'm not getting this.
Basically,
Hit
Nike
me
is
up.
partnering up with.
Okay, Jake and I are wearing the
Sony.
PG2s.
Okay, that's fine.
Look, I got
Is
the
that what they're
discount
called?
from Nike.
But
so
they're
we
Paul
can-
George.
Do you really have a discount
is
for
the
Who
guy.
is Paul George?
He's a basketball player.
Oh,
Who
okay.
partnered with
Anybody-
Sony for his shoe release.
So one of the tongues has the Sony symbol and the other has something else. What
It's
is the
Paul
other
George's
thing?
symbol. PG.
Why does he have a symbol? He's a basketball player.
Because he's got his own.
All of
brand.
them have their own brands now.
yeah, basketball players, it's all about merch, baby.
Yes, dude. They're
Those
like
big
like,
names.
Fuck my
Yeah.
contract.
You play
As long as
basketball
I'm-
to get to the shoe contract.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Not even just that. Like now, it's like actors, rappers.
Yes.
Like you got Kevin Hart shoes. He came out with.
What?
Yeah, he's got Love
For
Hearts
Nike?
by Nike.
Yeah.
On the inside, it says love on one soul.
Love
on the other-
heart.
and it says heart.
It's like
but
loving on
HART.
other women.
Yeah, it's like, ooh.
Scandal,
But
baby.
talking about merch, there's something we can talk about.
You seem really confident here that we're all going to be down for it.
No, I think Alex is the only other person to watch the video. The Logan Paul thing. Anybody else see that?
His
I saw
newest
it.
video?
Yeah, it just came out like now 6 or 7 hours ago, but it was like 4 hours.
Scorching
before it
hot
started.
content. It's scorching hot.
Man.
Oh, hit him with a hot
Well,
take, Jim.
Hot take.
Hot take coming from Jim.
Hot
Everyone
take.
shut up.
Okay, so here we go. December or something like I don't even remember. It was it was January 3rd or something. Logan Paul came out with the whole like I'm gonna film a dead body thing. Obviously got a bunch of backlash.
I didn't hear about
And really, since then though, he hasn't put like any vlogs out other than his little apology video, which everybody was like, man. You can only apologize for 3 minutes? That's not sincere. So he has now come out with it was that was the biggest argument against it.
An endurance apology.
Yeah, if he was like if he really he didn't have that much to say, it's like, well, you know, I don't know, whatever. You have a lot of other things you can pick out other than how long an apology is, but
Jimmy's out there on the streets for Logan Paul.
just my sign, honk for Logan.
Logan for life.
Nah. Well, I
Are you on the side?
I would not. No, I would definitely say that what was done was not right. I am generally against a media circus involving anything since what happened with PewDiePie. Because you could specifically see what he was doing was just completely twisted by the media.
Yeah.
But this is not that case. Well, a lot of what is being said is a lot more accurate, but I just don't like the whole like mob pitchfork media thing. But in either case, he came out with a new video today. It's like 7 minutes long, and it is it's like an apology of sorts by him basically coming out and being like, hey, I'm giving $1 million to different suicide organizations. And then
Fucking flexing on these hoes.
yeah,
man. What
and then
the
he is,
hell?
and then he is.
He's out here. He's got
Maverick game.
he's got the dead body. He's fucking making it rain. Like,
Yeah.
but with the sad look on his face.
But having watched it, and
Like the
Alex,
charities are trying to pick it up.
Yeah, they're in that wind tunnel. The dead body hanging behind him. He's like,
Like, goddamn, it smells in
they're
here.
stuffing the money into it.
I'm not
I feel like this may be just as insensitive as our source material.
I object to this
Yeah,
wholeheartedly.
let's not talk about this too much.
Yeah.
But hold on.
It's funny because
There's your
we're
clap.
parodying or what's it called where you make fun of somebody else, whatever,
parody?
another person.
I get you.
We're not. This is not our content.
Satire.
I understand.
Satire. Okay,
That's
sure. We're satiring him.
Yeah, like if SNL wanted to do.
Yeah. Do not even come for this shit, dude. This
This is going to be our original content next week. We're not even doing a podcast.
We're taking this goof to Chuck E. Cheese.
Still won't be involved.
Yeah. Don't they have like a wind blown
They have the
ticket booth?
money. They do.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Good plan.
They have that one clock that goes around. You
We'll get the guy who didn't put the nose on there just
It's
for the
it's
extra
just
surreal
a
effect.
really in poor taste weekend at Bernie's. Just,
Yeah. But all of this said, I wanted to give an impression, and Alex, of course, is the one who saw the video as well.
I will give a counter impression.
Back me up a little bit. So, I thought it was interesting. He was interviewing people who, were like psychologists and stuff who dealt with suicide with these different organizations, and then people who had attempted to commit suicide and what they've been doing since type thing. So, and then the heartfelt monologue throughout where it's like, during this time, I've learned I've made a lot of mistakes. People in general need to have more compassion, and I want to be at the forefront of that and all that stuff. There were a lot of face shots, which made it seem a lot less sincere. He has also changed his look, which makes me think that all of this is more of a PR hype thing, because he's always had like the long surfer,
Yeah, away
dude,
from the surfer
look,
look.
yeah. He definitely looks a lot more cleaned up, and this is the first time we've ever seen him that way, so I feel like it was definitely for this premiere of a I've changed thing.
He definitely had. I saw just a clip of the video.
Yeah.
There's
He
really
definitely went to a PR company.
There's really
Hey,
tiny font.
I got a bunch of money. Help me make this good again.
Changed
And then
my
during
hair.
the interview with the guy who had jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge like 19 years ago, and ever since he's been like, this is, the moment I jumped off, I felt a lot of regret, and he goes around basically teaching on that, where he's like, once you do it, like, you can't go back, but this is, like, it's a bad thing. While he's interviewing this guy, the guy keeps, like, you could tell there's just a big old crowd of people. Like, they're trying to make it seem like this small, sincere thing. And even the way the guy's eyes track around as he's saying stuff, like, he's looking at, like probably 6 different people during the course of this interview. It's all, you could tell it's like a set type situation.
Boom mic like dips in his shot.
Hits him in the forehead like that.
And it felt like a lot more produced than a lot of the other stuff where there's like GoPro on the wrist type thing. Like, there's definitely a lot of wind up. And that's probably what he spent the past majority of a month working on it. He's been silent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, my impression of that, I feel like it's interesting that a change will be made. Some of the dialogue in there as well was less about. It was more about appreciating people in general, so that they, treating everybody as a person, so it doesn't lead to stuff like this on an individual basis, which may say some for the other stuff that he's done as well, as far as like slapping people with fish in Japan and stuff. It's like, obviously you weren't treating that person with respect, and I feel like even some of the dialogue was going that direction. So
Maverick.
yeah, so I thought it was interesting. I definitely think that it felt very PR-esque, and then they put a lot of attention on him for a video that was supposed to be putting attention on the issue. And because it kept doing like the solemn face eye shots, and then like I'm sitting in an airport while a bunch of people walk by and I look really sad while he's dialoguing, and it just, I would have liked to see something a little better. I appreciated that the video was made rather than him just continuing without saying a word and then maybe every once in a while being like, yeah, I'm sorry again. He definitely put a direct effort.
He
But
should have put out like some merch, like with I'm sorry.
Yeah, did he at all in this video say link in the bio merch.com?
Yeah.
Like, because in literally every video he has ever posted, I have seen him go link in the bio.
Yeah.
Like even during the suicide one. Link in the bio. Like, I mean,
Get this merch.
It wouldn't surprise me at him just being like, by the way, link in the bio.
You gotta watch the video, Jake.
I don't want to.
Oh, well.
I mean, I will.
He just says it really sad.
Now that you just yelled at me about it, I will go see it.
Thanks. We'll talk about it more some other time, maybe. I don't know.
I guess I won't really counterpoint you here, but I mean, I don't like Logan Paul as number one. Like, the guy's a fucking asshole. But I kind of agree with you on the media thing. Like, I mean, so you got freedom of speech, but freedom of speech doesn't cover freedom of consequences. Like,
Yeah.
he made his bed. I think he should have had to have lied in it, or lie down in it, lay down in it, whatever.
Should have lied in it.
Yeah,
Should have laid in there.
Yeah, he should have slid right into his bed. And I just think that, I would have preferred for him to be shunned away. But of course, the internet doesn't work like that. He's got a lot of people feeding that mentality. So,
12-year-olds.
yeah. So, unfortunately, I mean, that's really the conversation that needs to be had, is changing the youth's opinion on situations like this. It's not really Logan Paul that I'm concerned about. It's the fact that you have all of these assholes that, I mean, they just haven't grown up, had the chance to grow up yet, and kind of learn how to respect people. But I did find the guy that he did the interview with, I found his story really interesting. And I mean, I can see how you could say that it seemed a little bit just more produced than a sincere story, but I won't knock the guy for that. Like, I've obviously never gone through anything like that, so I can imagine you could still get choked up like telling that story about the day that you almost killed yourself. So I think overall, sure, like make the video. I don't think any better of him, but maybe that's the video that or the thing that you need to go through to change. I guess
Maybe. I'm way too cynical.
Yeah, I'm just picturing Logan Paul like, thinking about that time he went through that where he almost killed his YouTube channel, and he's just like that's what I don't think there's a thing to do about self-reflection. I think it's like, oh fuck, I almost lost all my money.
You see, like, the YouTube
my
ad,
money printing machine
that's
broke
exactly-
for a couple days.
But,
Like that's
so
what
like
it's
from
all
this
about.
point on, his content almost has to completely shift.
Change, yeah.
Like if he goes back, to
I think at least for a while.
his old
I think
ways,
you can very very easily go back to an old
hypocrite.
format later, like when he stops paying that PR team. But I think it probably will see a change for a little
I
while.
think so too. It'll be a shift change, but it ain't gonna be.
I think it's going to rubber band back.
Yeah.
Do you
for
think?
sure.
Yeah.
And
How could you stay away from all those incredible
when it's
videos?
every day, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day,
he doesn't get goose.
Yeah, you're right. I think it
Doesn't do
took
it
2
for
weeks for him to
views.
output this video, this apology video, or whatever it is, and he's supposed to be doing daily content. Ain't no way that he's going to be putting together high quality, non-slapping people with fish content. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, how can you stay away from the slap
you resort
fish
to
thing
that.
anyway?
You resort to it. It's just how it's going to be.
Meanwhile, we haven't been looking, but Jake's just been like running down streets with fish,
Yeah.
like just slapping.
We got to
people
start
left and
getting GoPro on that.
right.
Mr. Jordan would do this.
I did think a second ago that you should have what would George do, or what would Mr. George do? Get that bumper sticker going. Well, it would sell. Pretty
That would
hot in
sell like
Lakeland.
hotcakes in fucking Lakeland,
Yeah.
dude. That would
Yeah.
sell like fucking hotcakes. And that's our how are we going to pay the bill segment this week?
WWMGD.
We're gonna have to just keep it at George because we need that deniability when they come knocking.
Hey,
Publix will sue.
yeah, they'll be like, hey, actually, Mr. George is copyrighted by the Public School.
TM for Mr. George.
Now, wait, going back to Logan Paul, do you
Could be
think
curious.
Could get curious, George. Do you think that they'll put him back on the ad block that he was taken off?
Oh, I don't. I don't think so. I think that'd be too bad of a move for them.
Yeah.
I think that he might be a little bit hopeful of that, but I don't think he'll do that.
No,
Yeah.
they took PewDiePie off the same one, right?
Yeah.
After the whole thing, and they haven't put him back on since.
No, I don't think they ever would. They've totally shunned him,
Yeah.
and like
The only people that like him are his fans, and that's his only, I mean, at this point.
Yeah, the only people like him are like people who watch YouTube.
you know the 60 million
60
subscribers that he just hit. But they didn't even ask him to be in the YouTube Rewind, and it's
Yeah.
like biggest channel that's ever been on YouTube consistently. Like he's got a good like 25 million gap between other people between subscribers. And they didn't even ask him. They hate him. That's never happening.
I don't think he would even go on it if they asked him.
I think he
To
probably
be
would.
honest, I mean,
I think that the whole Paul situation, though, I think that he would have he'd definitely have more of a chance of coming back.
yeah,
Just because I think he
They see him-
panders to them a little bit more.
yeah, they see him more as
Yeah.
a cash cow towards the youth.
Yeah. And then PewDiePie is like literally all the time. He's just like F YouTube. Like if
It's
anything
like-
happens, he's just like F YouTube. Like, so
Yeah,
it's
he
just like,
he
whatever.
just put out a video saying like, YouTube is literally fucking the small, or what's it called?
Yeah.
The small
You
channels.
talking about with the subscriber change
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he says
I
what
think
he
it's a huge
wants.
deal. Oh.
Well, the thing is, now let's talk about this.
Okay.
So the other day, I was.
Should we detail what the subscriber thing is?
Yeah. So previously in the adpocalypse,
Previously
yeah, anybody was able to just like, and I wasn't in YouTube at this era, so I could be wrong, but I know that things became more stringent to become a YouTube member and start monetizing your channel and stuff like that. When the whole adpocalypse thing happened, people started pulling their ads out because they saw that their ads were being placed on questionable content, like neo-Nazi type stuff. So they made it to where you at least had to have 10,000 views to monetize. The Dimension Shift Studios channel right now has like 17,000 views. So we hit that mark and then started being able to monetize stuff. Since I monetized probably like a month or two ago, and this past month I have not even put any content up, I've gotten like $9. So the money doesn't matter. But what does matter is when you partner, it puts your search results a higher priority. So as soon as I monetized, net clicks and chill and stuff, it was getting like a lot more views per day. So I got an email the other day when this change happened. I think it was a Monday of last week or like somewhere in the middle of last week. And it says like, oh, we made a change to our YouTube agreement and your channel is no longer going to apply for, basically you're unpartnered. and it will be effective like February 20th. So right now, everything that was monetized still will be, and then I'll lose all those benefits. A lot of people are like, oh, you're not making money anyway, because AdSense is how you make money. You can't even cash in until you have $100. And like during 2 months, I've gotten $9. So I'm not going to see that money ever. But what's really annoying is it gives me a disadvantage compared to those other channels. And the only reason is that some big name did something wrong and they just want to smash down the small ones so that they can monitor. It's basically showing or refreshing the people who are paying for advertisements that their stuff is able to be monitored, because there isn't just a giant group of people that's doing it. So the current situation is no longer 10,000 views per channel. It's 4,000 views in the past 12 months, which is easier to achieve. But it's 1,000
not 4,000 hours anymore.
4,000. I think it might be 4,000 hours. But then it's 1,000 subscribers on your channel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of like, I don't know.
And they're also changing it to where they had like an AI system kind of like monitor the videos, but now they're saying that they're going to put actual 10,000 people looking at videos. Every single video that's uploaded.
They're hiring 10,000 people to do it by 2019.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm starting my upload campaign right now to fuck with it. I'm going to videotape everything. Shitting, eating.
We're about to put out like a 2.5 hour podcast. Good luck, Fred.
So some dude is watching that, and we're talking about him right now.
Yeah, they'll probably use their normal algorithm. The issue is when you challenge it, so it automatically demonetizes. I've had stuff where instantly it's like you could not have had this auto searched fast enough. They just demonetize things that have certain content. Any gaming video automatically monetized.
Yeah, we're people in blogs, so we don't gotta worry about that.
True. So they end up looking.
System.
They end up.
They get black for twibbing.
Yeah.
It's like some racial slur over like Yugoslavia.
I love this idea of making up our own slurs so we can keep our our monetization.
Man, you're such a twib. It's like we know it's like the worst thing possible, but YouTube is like.
I still don't know if I see it being a bummer, because me and Cameron have been YouTube partners for like 6 years or so.
Hey, we're in it.
Haven't made a goddamn dime. But we were accepted a long time ago.
I love your videos. I'm your biggest fan.
But I don't know. I see this as like this is what YouTube and video content on the web is now. It is a bummer that someone who just got partnership now is no longer a partner.
Yeah.
Just from a morale standpoint, that sucks.
Yeah.
But I think I don't think that's a huge ask. 4,000 hours is a lot. 1,000 subscribers is a lot.
It's not that much, though.
Yeah, if you're really passionate and that's the career path you want to go, go for it. It seems reachable.
Could pay
whereas 10,000 views, one video, easy, and you don't even have a following. You just put out a video.
Yeah.
Well, see, what Jimmy does, he puts in the time and effort and work and stuff like that. You deserve to be a partner and get the money for that. But then today. I was on break at work, and the video that popped up on my recommended on YouTube was caught a cheater in Fortnite, and he posted it and was texting, or the text on the screen was basically oh, he was using an aimbot, blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. So I'm reading the comments, and the dude's like, wow, I went from 250 subscribers to 6,000. In literally a day, because I posted this one video about this dude with an aimbot, and then all of his videos are just him and his buddies playing Fortnite. There's 4 videos on his channel, but then I'm
partner.
It's automatic partner. It's that's kind of bullshit. Whenever Jimmy's over here, doing all the next.
Yeah, I don't think that problem goes away even if you go back to the old system, though.
But see, they're also trying to get rid of all the people, or I guess channels that are making money off here's a compilation of vines that I think about, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Shit shows up everywhere.
It's
and they're extremely popular.
Vines that I watch
vines
whenever
that
I
keep
want to
me alive.
Yeah. Which, that's also they also follow those, and they also get thousands and thousands of views, so they're also making money off of that.
Watch Mojo.
Are they actually making money off that?
The
Vine stuff?
Wouldn't they?
Yeah.
They may be. That seems upsetting if so.
Yeah, as long as you don't put music and stuff, even... if somebody else's content gets demonetized, which is really strange, because they monitor certain people's channels more, of course, because they have more views and they have more to offer. But if PewDiePie puts up a video and it's demonetized, he takes it down so that he can edit it and put it back up so that he makes money because it's his job.
Right.
But if that happens and it doesn't get re-uploaded after like 3 times and he just takes it down and gives up, because if something's demonetized, a lot of the time he won't keep it up because he doesn't want to copyright strike him.
Yeah.
So somebody else, as soon as it goes up, they download it real fast. And then they'll post it on their channel. So they'll get hundreds of thousands of views, but they can monetize it because they're a small channel.
Yeah.
So it's just like...
And it's also seen as like, hey, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Peter.
Yeah, we actually get to watch it now. Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody else is great. And PewDiePie in the last one even said that. He's like, this is not how you deal with a big problem like this. You need to streamline... Basically, you need to stop all the people who are doing stuff like that, where it's like Viners and basically people reposting other people's content. And you reduce that number of people so that you can create a streamline of original content. You're supporting your creator base rather than supporting these people that just get a bunch of views for like random content that they didn't make. But I think that it's true. The only issue I have with the subscriber count thing is if you make a really good video and a lot of people do watch it, a lot of people still won't subscribe. Like one of my videos has 6,400 views and I have 192 subscribers. So it's like you can have one video that ends up with like 200,000 views and you've got that watch time and stuff that you need, but the people don't subscribe because you have like 3 good videos. Right. But then it's like...
Well, I think that goes to show you that I think particularly with subscribers, it's not necessarily view count, it's just consistency of content.
Yeah.
Like we had, I don't know, 13, 14,000, but we only put out like 4 videos, so our subscriber count was like maybe in the 20s or 30s, something like that. So not a lot. Even though our views are pretty proportional to like your channel, especially a couple months ago, but your subscriber count's way more than ours was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I subscribe to small channels all the time. Like if I just stumble across their content, but what you said, it's hard to find them. But shoot, that's been our YouTube 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's get off it, boys. There's got to be some more news out here. I can.
There is.
I can taste that news.
Yeah, there's only a few left, but we got Microsoft's Xbox game subscription now to include new games.
I think that is
on release day.
Incredibly big news for Microsoft, a company that I think has been struggling. I think most people would realize have been struggling. So,
well, before we get into it, for those who don't know, the Xbox game subscription is a service, I believe, $10 a month.
$10.
$10 a month, and you get automatic access to a slew of games.
It's over 100 games right now.
Over 100 games. So now the big change is when, say, a new Halo, Gears of War, or Forza on launch day, when they launch, you will also get
as soon as you could purchase it, it will be uploaded to that library.
How long? Or
forever. Yeah, it'll be in the library.
Continuous service.
Anything that is a first
what's the point
party,
of ever buying a game ever again?
That's their idea.
Not every game is going to be on there.
Not every game. It's first party title, so or first party published title. So it'd be something. Sea of Thieves is coming out. That's a game that I probably wouldn't have bought, but it's a game that I will sign up for Game Pass for a month for $10 and go try it out.
With all the other games that you're getting out of.
A lot of people sign up for that stuff too, and say Cameron buys one Xbox game a year. That's what, $60. But say he subscribes and just leaves it there, then now they're making $120.
Just with the idea, like, well, I could probably.
I think that's the same idea for Movie Pass. If I didn't have Movie Pass, I'd maybe go once a month, maybe. But now that I have Movie Pass, it's not working for them.
I'm abusing it. Yeah.
But for a lot of people, they probably still only see that one movie a month. Or in some months they might skip a month, and now they've just paid $10 to be subscribed to the service.
Yeah.
Don't they only make money off popcorn crap anyway? That's why they sell it for like
different company. But
$20
Back to the Microsoft thing.
Yeah.
I think that the way that they're going to do is it will attract people like me back to the console. People who this Joker's been collecting dust for years and turned into a Blu-ray machine only. Like that's the only time that shit gets turned on.
That's my hang up with it though. Like it seems like a very unique solution to a big problem they have.
Yeah.
Like if they were coming out with blockbuster games at a regular clip, when compared to PlayStation, like would a service like that exist?
No.
It seems like it would not be in their best interest.
It shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have to exist. Instead, they're having to, like I said, bring people back to the console who have just drifted away. Like, how many units has Xbox sold? They're like half of PS4 at this point. How many people are playing those games? Because that's where they're making their money is on the game sales.
Yeah.
That's where they're making money, on the software sales, where they get their cut. And if there's no games coming out, if nobody's buying, where's that money coming from to open up new studios to support these games? I don't know where it's at.
Like I do like the idea, but I do look at it and read it like, oh, this is like a weird concession more than like, hey, this is a cool hip idea we had. Like this is like, hey, come back.
Then why wouldn't you, like? Okay,
It's
so
good for me. So
like the new Halo and all that. So why wouldn't people just do the pay $10 a month and just play the new Halo, beat it, and then cancel it?
Yeah,
Nobody would buy the hard copy for like $60.
What about online people who want to play it for 3 or 4 months?
Sure.
Oh, you just do that instead and pay it for 3 or 4 months and then cancel it instead of paying $60. I mean, I think that for the consumer, I think this is advantageous.
Yeah.
I think that it could be good for Microsoft to get people back into their ecosystem, draw them back in.
Everybody that talks about Xbox they're talking about is PUBG right now. I'm just like, okay, well, I got Shadow of the Colossus is about to come out. Fortnite's popping.
Is that Microsoft published?
What?
The Battlegrounds. Yeah.
It's
on
like
the console
exclusive on Xbox right now.
They're still getting money off of it on disc sales.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, with that being included in a Game Pass, it doesn't seem like it would.
Oh no, absolutely not. Yeah,
no, it's not disc. It's just
it's just
I hate that. My buddy bought it and he was like, I got the case, and I was like, they have a disc with it, and he opened it up. It was a code, and I was like, you know how like in a disc, like a case, it has like that little circle that you pop out. Didn't even have that. And I was like, what the fuck is the point of the case? And they were like,
you're supposed to throw it into the ocean and choke a bunch of fish.
Poison your aunts or your children's children.
I will say, Spencer did leave a sentence in there. He says, we'll continue to invest more and more into first party.
Sure, shut the... At this point...
Given you're at 0 at this point,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing
Put your money where your mouth is, Phil. I love Phil Spencer, but what's going on, man? But for years... Quit delaying shit. You release a big marquee console. You're like, okay, check this shit out. This is our tent pole. They put the tent up, and you walk in. It's just cobwebs and dust bunnies rolling around under the big top because there's jack shit to play on that console. It's
here's our Xbox One X.
Yeah.
What about it? It's $100 more than PS4 Pro. But why? They don't fucking know. It's like
Forza.
Yeah, we have Forza in 4K and 60 frames per second.
Also, Cracked it. Wait, no, never mind.
We delayed that. We delayed Crackdown. Fuck.
Cuphead's good, right?
Cuphead's good.
Oh shit.
That's worth $500.
But like the thing that like whenever they were like Project Scorpio is coming out, they were like, we're gonna put VR in this thing, but like there's literally been no talk.
We're gonna have a mixed reality headset.
Yeah, it's like there's been no talk on the VR.
For the mixed Xbox reality.
Like augmented reality. Like, think glasses.
HoloLens.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
HoloLens.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Has that even come out yet?
I think they're using it in like weird fields, like engineering or like
it's
space
HoloLens
people.
for Minecraft.
Yeah, it's like, check this shit out. You can play Minecraft, but you're like in a real world.
Yeah, it's like this.
For Scorpio, I thought they did hype it up right. It's just like
they didn't deliver.
Like, what do I play with it?
Yeah, they didn't deliver on
to
it.
play with it.
Because like I bought the PS4 Pro and I was like,
ready.
This is the best console. And then Xbox was like, guess what, bitch? We're coming out with a whole console a year later, so we can just dissect the PS4 Pro and make this console 10 times better.
Twice as good.
I was like, shit, dude, Xbox might have the best console now. Then it came out and I was like, no, they didn't. I'm just gonna if I want an Xbox One, I'm honestly just gonna buy an Xbox One S for the 4K player on it.
Yeah.
So mine
that's what I got.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I did just get Blade Runner, so we gotta watch that at some point.
Oh shit, bring it over, baby. But yeah, I don't know. I think that Xbox has an interesting year ahead of them. I don't know anything that's coming out for them.
Yeah, I don't know any exclusive.
Or have they announced a Halo, or are they just saying when a Halo comes out, you'll get it, baby.
Yeah.
You'll get it.
Other than Sea of Thieves, I'm not
Sea of Thieves is the only thing that I've even coming up anywhere near the radar.
When is that supposed to come out?
March, early
I'm super
March.
excited. Just a pirate game in general.
Yeah.
Jimmy's gonna get an Xbox Scorpio.
No, isn't it PC
Is it
too?
PC?
Yeah.
Probably, because
For
they're
sure.
all first party games.
Oh shit, you're
which
right.
makes that even more confusing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play
you're
it
right.
on PC.
Fuck it. I don't even.
No way I'm getting anywhere near an Xbox.
That is one thing that is a
I wouldn't even buy it for the 4K.
Not a concession. That is a hang up with that. So this policy, this Game Pass only works on the console. So the $10. So if you wanted to play it with us, ex-boners,
It's just too bad.
you'd have to buy a $60 copy.
Do you have an Xbox One or no? All
Well,
right.
I mean, I is it cross-platform though?
It is cross-platform.
Oh, for sure, I'm gonna buy it. Just not.
It could
not
It
a
could be
console.
cross-platform.
Yeah,
I would assume it to be cross-platform.
Yeah, I was planning on getting Sea of Thieves whenever.
They'll announce it the day before. It's not cross-platform.
Oops.
Only with Project Scorpio can you cross-platform.
Only with Xbox One X can you.
Only
do
with your vapor
cross-platform.
chamber can you process all of the Whatever.
Only with your social security code can you do cross-platform. Thanks, Microsoft.
Lovely. All right,
Well, the final story I got is Oscar nominations were announced. So we do have the nominations.
We have
for
talked
all
an
the
awful
stuff.
lot about movies.
Yeah.
Maybe we skip the Oscar noms.
I don't even know who
What if we
most
just do-
actors
we just
are.
do reviews? Like once they come out, then we bash. The
Like who
results.
won? Okay, good. Instead of predicting like what I will do if Meryl Streep wins Best Actress, we will see what see what happens when she does actually do it instead of hypothesizing on such.
Yeah, there's not even really much to say. I will say Get Out seems like a weird addition.
To Best Picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, the list seems like, they all seem like they really wanted an Oscar.
Yeah.
If Get Out was weird, we'll talk about this next time. But Get Out, I would say, is a real great movie.
But I think like
But
Get
in
Out
the Best
had-
Picture, it's not a movie that usually shows up on the Best Picture.
No,
Yeah,
but
right.
it's
What is
got
Best
such
Picture?
a mix of elements in it that
It's an
kind of
Oscar.
screwed up.
Is it? Well, I mean, is it
It
just
means
like?
it's the best movie.
Does it just mean it looks nice,
Oh,
or is
no.
it just
Wow.
like good movie
No,
all
it's the
all
best
around?
movie.
Yeah.
Best movie.
Yeah, I've never had any interest in any award. It's like it seems like a bunch of like just circle jerking.
I almost thought you
You're
were going
right.
to say, like, was it the best single frame? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Best
No.
picture.
I was thinking just like best foreign movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I honestly, well, okay.
I think you're
Let's
right.
say
I
it with
think you're
this.
right. What you're
Do you take seriously any of the Oscar things? Because it's just like this person
No,
wins
but
again.
I do
This
get angry
movie was
about it.
good out
I
of
do.
out of 5 movies that were considered
That's
because we're
King's
jerking
Speech.
off the directors.
That's
Like,
King's Speech.
yeah.
Now, what movies are up for the best picture? It's
Call Me By Your Name. Darkest Hour.
Never heard of Call Me by Your Name.
isn't that the
Dunkirk.
I literally Only 'cause talked you- about
it 2 podcasts ago, Jimmy. Where were you?
I probably zoned out because I didn't know what it was.
All right. Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, The Shape of Water, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
They all
Now, I will
sound
tell
like the titles
art
of
house films.
They all titles of
A24.
giant portraits in
Except for Get
a
Out.
museum. Except Get
Get Out
Out.
was-
That's why I think it deserves to be in there. It's
Talking
like
about
the,
giant portraits that are in a museum. The Shape of Water. There's some weird
That's
shit.
what I'm thinking. We just see this thing is just the shape of water. Like, oh, that was deep and artistic. Like, it must be good. I don't know.
That is the idea
I
of
would like Shape of Water, though.
What is it
I
about?
didn't see it.
Well, it has
It's a
the
creature from the Black
creature
Lagoon.
aspect
Yeah.
to it that I think you'd be super into.
You would dig it. It's got the creature from Hellboy, but it's
Guillermo
not
del
exactly. He will
Is
not
it
confirm.
like an emotional thing, or is it more like scary? This thing's gonna kill people.
No,
No,
it's
it's
definitely
emotional.
you gotta.
Like, or is it like I'm so misunderstood? I'm a monster from the Black
I think
Lagoon.
I'm starting to have
Did you just talk about Phantom of the Opera?
It's elephant.
Yeah.
I'm starting to have an inkling as to why Jimmy and I might disagree about movies. His general opinion of them.
What do you mean? I'm just asking about it. I don't know anything about this movie.
When is the Oscars? Is it this weekend?
Let's see.
It's gonna be a little while, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be March 4th.
All right, so
we
I'm
got
calling it now. What episode is this?
Oh, we could take bets.
Episode 4 on who wins.
Well, isn't
Best
it?
movie.
Isn't
Now,
it
okay, look,
technically
next-
episode 3?
Huh? Yeah, we could do it next episode. But
Yeah.
I'm calling it now before anybody else calls it.
Yeah.
3 billboards will not win.
Best picture.
But 3 billboards because I only
That's the
say
same as
this. I will only say this because if you win Best Picture at the Golden Globes, you don't win shit at the Oscars.
It won Best Picture.
Yes,
I hadn't heard that. That's
I do
that
like
makes
a
me
betting
hate the
pool.
Golden Globes now
because
Why?
because The Shape of Water is the best picture. Because the shape
Maybe go through each of these titles. Does everybody else here at this
Call Me
table
By Your
aware of
Name's
what
going.
what these are?
I don't.
I mean, I haven't seen them
Have you
because I
seen
just
it?
got Movie Pass, but
Is
I'm
it
aware
that
of
good?
Yeah.
Or is it just that fucking Oscar like pandering? Like
I don't think it's pandering. I
artist.
think it's really good, but it's the kind of movie that wins.
the kind of movie, yeah,
It's kind of like
which
Moonlight.
I hate.
Moonlight won last year because
I don't think you would hate it. I don't. Well, maybe you would. I don't know.
I feel like the artist is the epitome of that stuff. Or like, I won an Oscar, no way I'm ever gonna see it. It looks like drivel.
is that the one?
Well, right now, Phantom Thread is that for me. Like I'm looking at
That
it,
is
like,
the
man,
one.
I don't want to see that,
Okay,
but
I
it's
didn't wanna
Daniel
say that on
Day-Lewis's
camera.
last movie. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't think of which one it was,
Yeah.
so I wrote down which one I knew it was from.
yeah.
Yeah.
For all of you who couldn't see Jake's notepad, it just said "gay?" question mark. It just said.
Apology video to come.
I am so sorry.
Hashtag sorry. Jake Dane for life.
Hey,
Round
link in the
game.
bio.
But, you want something to add?
I was gonna say I saw an amazing tweet about Get Out. An amazing tweet. Get Out wins, and this is the prediction. Get Out wins. One of the white whatever Oscar presenters comes up and says, "If I could have, I would have voted for that movie twice."
Oh no!
It cuts to Get Out. Get Out 2.
That would be so rich.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's good.
It was probably.
Did you write that tweet?
I didn't. If I wrote that tweet, I wouldn't be here. I would be internet famous by now, I'm pretty sure. I thought it was probably the best one I've read in the last month or so. The
Best tweet?
Yeah. I love Twitter. I think it's, the amount of, short character, thoughts that you get out there. I love that. I think it's fun.
I don't know who to follow to actually get any of that. Usually I just get here's a picture of a seal.
What Twitter are you on?
He's on Twitter.
Crap. I
Get
spelled it wrong
Twitter.
again. Well, it's like Animal Planet or whatever.
I think you follow your friends and then you see what they
I follow my mom, and she's just like Trump sucks, global warming, we're gonna die, and then it's like here's a cute picture of a seal not getting clubbed.
Okay. Again, follow your friends, see what they retweet, and then find new people to follow from that. So it's like Cameron introducing me to a YouTube channel. I'm like, okay, I'd actually be interested in following that guy now.
I get you.
I found a couple people that way, and it's just like the amount of stuff. Sometimes I get a little annoyed at how much people retweet or whatever, but still, there's a lot of good stuff out there that I just wouldn't see otherwise.
I want to say I completely misread what Twitter was supposed to be whenever I first went on it, and I was like, everybody just retweets things. So I was like, I'm not gonna say a word. I'm just gonna retweet things. And then whenever I put out a video, I was like, this is social marketing. So immediately I put this thing up, and I go up to 25 followers as I'm just retweeting things, and I'm just like, man, I'm popular. I'm good at this. And then it dropped down within the next 2 days to 9, and that was probably about 4 months ago. I'm currently at 11.
Where did you think the content came from?
I just figured you tweeted what
it came from, the great Twitter
popular
gods.
people said.
But you didn't think you could say something?
I'm not around a seal to take a picture, so I retweet the picture of the seal that somebody else put up.
Okay, but you were aware that you could post your own stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so from what I heard, you thought the only thing you could do was literally retweet.
No, I just thought that's what you were supposed to do.
Gotcha.
It was just you just retweet things, and then every once in a while I'd put a link to, hey, new video, guys. It didn't really work out.
Okay, when you retweet things, say it's a popular tweet, random DJs will follow you. It's super fucking annoying. I'll be like, oh, this tweet's funny, and I'll get a new follower, and I'll be like, I don't know who DJ Pookie is, and I'm not going to follow him and check out his new SoundCloud.
He has 13,000 following, but 600,000 followers or whatever. They just jack up their follow count and then they reduce it after you follow them back. Yeah,
I hate that shit so much. I I don't follow them, but I did it whenever.
DJ Pookie, this is for you.
He's gonna put me on his next song on SoundCloud. I promise.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Twitter for that reason. I did have something stolen from Twitter once. Someone stole a meme I made, put it on Tumblr, and a couple years later, someone sent it to me. He's like, "Didn't you make this?" And it had 1,000 or 2,000 whatever Tumblr's
notes.
Notes.
2,000 tumblers.
Yeah, a bunch of
2,000 tumbles.
A bunch of
There's 2,000 child porn links in the bottom because that's all Tumblr fucking is.
Yeah. Apparently, also most of the Tumblr user base is primarily female.
Tumblr whales.
Also,
right?
so was Ashley Madison, but we all know.
True.
It was
You're
Ashley
right.
Madison.
It was a
cheating website.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was
exposed to be mostly robots.
I don't know how people fell for that. It's I don't understand how you can be that stupid. There's a documentary.
Anything that shows up in the advertisements on porn videos, you just gotta know that shit's fake.
Yeah, in the ad, it's Michelle is 5 miles away from you and she wants some fuck. It's
she wants some.
But it's
she can see through your iPhone camera.
Yeah,
and she got a big old donger.
But no, I watched the documentary on it, and it was I spent my whole life savings on this robot, pretty much. Because, like, and they showed the messages, and, like, the messages were like, "Hi, sweetie, my name is, like, some...
Angela.
Yeah, it's like, "Hello, my name is Angela." And then at the very bottom, it would be like, "Send me..." It was like, you know, like that whole, like, Middle Eastern prince, like, "Send me money to this account, and then
I can buy a ticket.
and then I'll send you some nudies." And then dude's like, "Oh, okay, let me just write this check real quick. All right, sent." And then they're like, block automatically. It's like that one thing on Tinder. Did you guys see that? It's like, PayPal me $5 and I'll send you a present. Like, some girl posted on her Tinder and she posted her PayPal account.
She made a bunch of money.
I saw that.
So people would send her $5 and then she'd block them immediately so that they couldn't hit her back up or get any of their money back. And they couldn't be like,
It's your fault, though.
"Excuse me, PayPal. I just gave $5 to this random stranger because she promised nudies." Like,
I would love to see that dispute. There are guys out there that would dispute this.
Oh,
Like, hey,
yeah, exactly.
no fucking nude.
But she said a present, so that's really just...
The present is blocking you, and
Yeah.
then you realize that you are an idiot for doing what you just did.
Yeah.
Such when the whole internet's out there. The whole internet.
Like, why pay
Filled
for
to the
something
brim.
when it's free? It's like, I don't get
That
it.
reminds me of the John Mulaney joke. Have you guys seen John Mulaney's stand-up?
Yes. I have, but maybe
You don't
not
like
the
it?
thing. No, I do like them.
Okay. Just like, why buy the milk
When you can get cow.
Or why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? That's just what it reminded me of when he said,
Yeah,
He's
sure,
like,
I don't remember
"Why buy the cow?"
he's like, "I'll tell you why you buy the cow." I'm not gonna tell the joke.
Just do the whole bit, Alex.
Yeah, so John Mulaney's standing on stage.
Shut the fuck up.
He's in a 3-piece suit. He's like,
Quit.
"John Mulaney here."
That's pretty close. That's
Yeah.
That's actually not
I
bad.
didn't even know who you were talking about until you did the voice. There it is. That's good.
My favorite bit is whenever he's talking about the diner. He's playing What's New Pussycat.
This has been our John Mulaney review.
Moment, because we're not going on any further
Yes,
with
we
it.
are.
Yes, we
Okay,
are.
John
Just
Mulaney.
Do we need to say anything about logos? We did some. Should we just post pictures of them here in the video?
Yeah, like after it's over.
Here it is, guys.
Progress.
Bang right
It's
here
not
on the
like we had
screen.
any new decent
That was
ideas.
production.
I guess Jake after the berating that I gave to him last time did produce.
Yeah, even though it was my first episode, I didn't know what was going on in the second episode. They were like, "Jake, what the hell? Why didn't you bring a logo?" I was like, "I didn't fucking know we had a logo to bring in."
Thought
So
you
I
listened
made a
to us.
logo.
I think we could give ourselves another week.
Yeah, I made some logos in MS Paint.
Yeah.
We could put that shit up. You know.
It's done.
Here's some samples.
The logo is finished. We don't need another week.
The notepad.
It's his theme.
Because I know I haven't touched it all. I got kind of obsessed with production audio equipment in a pretty bad way. So
Yeah,
this
we
week I'll
didn't
definitely-
mention that this is actually our second microphone.
Yeah, this is a brand new mic.
Third for me, you know.
Shout out to Yeti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, I have a blue snowball, and the thing is completely fine. It's $40. Freaking blue Yeti is like 120 retail, and I've gone through 2 of them, and the last one had maybe 4 to 5 hours of audio
Recording
in it
time.
before dying, and I didn't even have it for a full month. So it was just like, what's wrong with these
And the weird
stupid
thing is I've heard
things?
the opposite. I've heard the snowball breaks, not the Yeti.
Yeah, I haven't had a single problem with the snowball. Ever since I plugged it in, it has worked every second. So, I don't know.
I've heard great things about the Yeti. I haven't heard anything about it busting or breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy's the first for me. Lucky you.
2 in a row. Going for a third. Hopefully their customer support is better than their mic, and maybe I can get a third one.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeti's gonna
Ooh, yeah, you can
blacklist us
sponsor
now.
us.
Yeah.
I'll take it. They block you. They like sucker. They got your
Here's your present.
yeah.
Well, if they made it to this far in the podcast, which is now at least 2 hours and 30 minutes,
Oh, man, it's a long
you will
podcast.
realize you could have watched The Last Jedi, which
And been equally disappointed.
yeah, equally disappointed. So
See, do we have anything else we want to
No.
talk about this week?
Aren't we supposed to give like our recommendation for something we like?
We could. We could try that out.
think we should-
Do you have one?
I like short podcasts.
No, I don't.
Here's my recommendation.
I was just wondering if we were all going to try and bullshit something over real
Anybody got a TIFU?
I didn't even come up with
No,
one.
we're good. We're good then.
No
Let's end it
TIFUs.
around here.
Yeah, but
I was real happy
What?
about that sentencing
Today I fucked
for
up.
the MSU guy. I don't know if you saw that.
I definitely did, though.
He got sentenced
I have something to talk
up
about.
to 175 years in prison for molesting and raping all those.
was it like 42, 175?
Narduzzi.
Yeah, 4,200.
The Olympic guy?
He needed to go.
Wow.
There needs to be more. Michigan State needs to wipe out their whole department and just start afresh. Like burn it to the ground, rebuild it, because you guys are tainted right now.
Yeah.
And they came out with an article, like a PR statement, except for it was like the opposite of a PR statement. They said there's a lot of good things going on at Michigan State University aside from that whole thing. Yeah, what's that guy's name?
Nassar.
Yeah, it literally said aside from that whole Nassar thing. Period. I was like, ooh.
They said "lol" at the back, like that's
Yeah, guys.
With a U.
link in the bio.
You haven't learned, have you?
And on that note, I'd like to thank you all for watching the Game Bangerz podcast. We will come next week with hopefully logos. I've said that for about 2 weeks now. Maybe that's just a thing I'm going to be saying for the rest of eternity.
That'd be a great goof.
Maybe we can do some Oscar betting too. I think that would be interesting. I think by that time I'll see some movies, so I'll actually be able to add something to it.
Sure.
We can do some what?
Oscar betting, so bet on
okay.
who wins the Oscars type thing.
I'm gonna go with Get Out. That is something that can win an Oscar?
Yeah, it could win an Oscar. It could win a few Oscars.
I don't really know what wins an Oscar. Do people win Oscars or do movies win Oscars?
Oscars generally win Oscars.
It depends.
Your name has to be Oscar.
Does it get a trophy or is this just like bragging rights?
There's a trophy.
Ooh, we could do that. You really want to risk that?
Oh no, I mean the Oscars.
I'm not fucking betting.
Okay, that's what I say.
I mean, does the Oscars provide a trophy to the winner, or is it just like
it's a very
I
famous trophy.
have an
Yeah.
Oscar?
You're way out of the loop on Oscars. Man.
You were a thespian in high school.
Yeah, for real.
I don't
know who
care.
Joe Pesci is.
He's a real artor, though.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
corporate
like
bullshit.
there is no reason. Yeah, it's just like all of these movies made, and the year in review are the ones that are still all in theaters, other than Get Out. I haven't even heard of these movies. You said something from last year
What?
that won something.
Okay,
was
so
it?
what you're
Moonlight?
missing is
I still have. Yeah, I've never even heard
I
of that
didn't see
movie.
it.
What is
That's
this garbage? Like.
Moonlight's supposedly a great movie.
Yeah, Moonlight's really good.
the thing about Oscars is you're talking about they're all still in theaters. That's kind of the point. They release them during Oscar season so that they can.
Everybody can go see
the movies that are coming out right now, they have an eye.
So we'll see you
on
next
Oscar.
week, everyone.
Goodbye.
Wait. If they've listened this far, they've now waited to the end of the credits to see if there was a preview, which there was not.